Howdy do, fisheroos! My name is Angie, and welcome back to Monday Book Club. So, for anyone that's new here, Monday Book Club, I sit around, I read visual novels. You guys can put in what answer choices you want me to choose. First come, first serve on that. I just take the first one I see, and we will choose together how we will play this. That's how these usually work. Of course, there's also the Oliver rule. I just hit my hand. Ow. There's also the Oliver rule where chat can request a Oliver on the screen. If you have a funny thing for adding an Oliver, I will let you do it. But otherwise, please do not cover any of the characters on the screen. And with that, we will get started. I genuinely do not believe that this visual novel is almost over at this point. You're half right. You're half right with that. Greetings, fish. I will be less present because I have to lock in for college math. Lock in away. I hope you do well. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. Hopefully the volume is all okay for you guys. I had to change around my setup just a little bit in order to do some recording for future projects. But we are going to go ahead and press continue. Last time, we actually had to stop in the middle of a chapter because it was taking too long, and 4 hours is officially kind of my cutoff for these things because rip my voice. So, for those that don't, oh my god, this long. Yes, it's long. It's a visual novel, of course it's long. What was I saying? Right, where we were. We're putting on a party for our friend, Miranda. Baxter is helping us plan that party. This is the last chapter in Baxter's main story. I want to reiterate, it is the main story. We still have an epilogue after this. So this is not the last we are seeing of Baxter. However, this is the last part of his main story, and then we will get to the epilogue. After the epilogue, we have Cove's wedding DLC. And then we are officially done with our life. That's it. We still have to see him after this? Yes, but I did hear he's a lot better in his epilogue. I was looking around on the internet a bit to, see the general consensus for Baxter, and a lot of people said that, he gets a lot better in his epilogue, he grows up and stuff. We'll see. I'm curious to see how this goes. What? Yes, that is all we have left of our life. Whether you think that's long or not, it's been 30 episodes in this series, so, anyways. He better not blow his shot. Let me count. 5th shot? Yeah, no, we've given him a lot of chances so far. I don't buy it. We'll see. Anyways, shall we start and finish off Baxter's route officially? Well, main story route. Let's go. Terry put it next to the cupcakes and gave you a big thumbs up. You had everything you needed, and the biggest potential disasters had been avoided. You could focus on the rest of the preparation work with confidence. The whole secret party planning committee went for another run of supply gathering. Another table and piles of plastic bags were brought into the venue. Angie, after finishing the Cove epilogue, we'll do it again. Yeah, just read Our Life all over again. There is an Our Life too. However, we will not be doing Our Life 2 just yet. I want more content to come out before we attempt Our Life 2. There are other visual novels I plan on going to, so don't worry, Monday Book Club will continue after Our Life. Can we just not care about Baxter? Not an option. I actually do have a few people that have requested me to finish Baxter's route. It's not just sheer determination having me finish this. Though I am curious how it gets better. On the third round, everything had made it inside. You'd carried a red cooler filled with chilled sparkling cider. Terry hid that under the cover table until later. Then all 4 of you sat around the lit-up dance floor, taking stuff out of bags and sorting it into piles. things for food on one half of the room and decorations on the other. Fish! Clown! Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to book club. Terry and Cove were both cross-legged. Baxter kept his legs stretched out. It was kind of like being a kid on Christmas, except instead of opening gifts, it was things you'd have to set up, and instead of piles of wrapping paper, all around it was plastic. Thank you for shopping bags. You still had plenty of fun, especially after it was somehow decided that Cove Holden was the perfect hook for the feather boas. One after another was tossed over his shoulders and onto his lap until he looked like a multicolored big bird. Cove accepted the assignment with only a moderate amount of complaining. It's kind of funny to imagine Cove as just like carrying all of these boas all around him. My problem with Baxter is that he does so well that he ruins it by doing his Baxter stupidity. Yeah, no, his dates are usually really good. Like, I actually prefer a lot of the dates he takes you on, but it's just, he'll say something and it's like, okay, well now you just ruined it, man. Now you just ruined it. This could have been so well until you opened your mouth and said whatever that was. I'm gonna get a snack, flip Baxter off for me. Hold on. My friend, I worked on your drunk drawing yesterday. It's nearly done. Nice! Can't wait to see it. I'm not leaving. I just want everyone to flip him off. Got it. The boas are just light enough for Cove to carry without his poor bones snapping under his weight. Poor Cove. Poor Cove doesn't deserve the slander you guys give him. After we've dealt with Baxter this long, Cove doesn't deserve this. Cove was actually a great option. You guys, you Cove haters were wrong. When the supplies were completely unpacked, Terry surveyed the collection of plates, napkins, utensils, plastic cups, and such. She announced that she'd handle the snacks and drink arrangements. She delegated you, Baxter, and Cove to do everything else with the room. After a salute, Terry left the circle and headed to her station. From under his cloak of feathers, Cove got busy snapping off tags and removing casings. You and Baxter followed his lead. The empty bags were repurposed for holding trash. Let's see. I'm gonna ask Casery if she'd rather kiss Baxter on the cheek or say that Cove ate our infernal bones. We'll ask her when she gets off work, I suppose. If we hadn't romance Coved, we wouldn't have had to romance Baxter. Cove was absolutely a horrible choice. Not true. Cove is the best choice. I think Cove was the best choice out of all three. I was angry I got friend zoned for so long with Derek's route, I'll admit. I was a little salty. Hey Angie, what is this game about? This game is Our Life. It is a dating sim game where you start off as a child. You can customize your entire life into adulthood, and you grow up with your childhood friend, Cove. Cove is one of the romanceable options. However, you do not have to romance him at all. You can just grow up platonically if you want. There are two other routes, being Derek and Baxter. And that is this game. Part 30, how long is this game? It's a visual novel. It's a dating sim. It's long. It's the longest running series on this channel. And fun fact, was the first stream I ever did on this channel. So there's two routes. I mean, like, you can count Derek as a route. There's three technically, but he friend zones you for most of it. Not long, mainly Angie getting distracted. Hey, that's what book club is for. You guys distracting me so I don't actually read the book. Visual novel, whatever. Peacefully and productively, your little team worked away on different tasks, until a groan of frustration echoed through the air. You glanced towards the opposite side of the room. Terry was shaking the chocolate fountain like she was trying to get a prize to fall out of it. Yeah, that's how that works. Can I get my Oliver? Of course you can. Place your Oliver as you will. Technical difficulties. Baxter stated the obvious. Everyone in the room was aware of Terry's struggles. Hello, why are we still here, just to suffer? Oh, Baxter is just suffering for all of you, huh? I should have known. We can't even see this guy off in peace. Over your face? I can put an Oliver over my face if you'd like. Technically, I have an Oliver over my head already. But if you guys don't want to see my beautiful facial expressions anymore, I suppose I can put an Oliver there. 1 second, let me get him out. No! It's an Oliver placed. I have to obey if an Oliver is placed. Which Oliver is this? That's Corniver. Hold on. Nope, that's Baxter. That's Green Baxter. That's a big Oliver. We'll take big Oliver. Make him small. And put him over my face so you guys don't see my expressions anymore. I want my Oliver to be ginormous and cover you entirely. Alright, well, we got another Oliver request. Giant Oliver. Here we go. There. Is this covered enough for you? Is this Oliver covered enough for you? Okay, that's 3. No, I think that's just 2 Oliver requests for now. Let's see what else we can get. The 1 point I'll give him is that I'm a sucker for the half and half colors thing. Yeah, it's not bad. He takes it a little too far, but it's not bad. Can I draw my own and send it to you? I suppose you could. Just make it appropriate. Can I move my Oliver to cover the hair on the right? Yeah, sure. I'll allow that. This hair right here? Put Loranum's Oliver covering the face so my lever so it's fair. Loranum already changed his. Can I give away my request privilege? Yes, I suppose. It will be. Who do you think I am? People request weird stuff. I tried to change my expression only to remember you guys can't see me anymore. I've disappeared behind the giant cat. Can I steal the request privileges? It depends on how funny you are. This is why I love the book clubs. Yeah, you guys, I just let you guys do whatever the heck, so. Give it to Josh. Alright, Josh, that means you have 2 requests now. Have fun. Use this responsibly. Not to worry. I have a bit of experience with these beasts. I should be able to offer assistance. He announced his intentions as he got up. There wasn't much left that you had packaging, and you wanted to make sure everything was all right, so you decided to go see Terry, too. Sweet, I'll probably not use them as I'm busy today. Oh no, Josh! You have obligations today? Yeah, do you want to give those requests to someone, Josh? Or are you just taking them, never to return them? You're feeling better after drinking the soap. Wait a second, you drank the soap? Hold on! I once again cast my lot as the live Oliver reaction. Yeah, I can bring up the live Oliver reaction. I just have to remember which one is the live Oliver reaction. Let's see, is it this one? Nope, that's Green Baxter. Let's see, it's one of these. I've had so many at this point. Nope, that's live Baxter reaction. Which means we're close. We're closer. There we are. Live Oliver reaction in the corner. Alright, you want to give your request to Lorandom. Got it. Cause chaos, Lorandom. I'm stopping the drunk drawings and working on a clown Oliver. Oh god, Oliver's gonna get a costume change. Last time he got a costume change, it was Corniver. Alright. Alright, I think that's everything. Can I cover the left side of your hair as well? Sure can. Sure can. Let me just find another Oliver. Nope, that one's there. Where? Oh, there's green Oliver up in the corner. That's not right. Hold on here. There's an Oliver. I really need to move these things. Alright, we'll just... Which one did you want to cover? Which side of my hair? There. Gotta go to Walmart? Alright. Thank you for stopping by. I'm starting to wonder how many overlays do you have by now? You don't seem to be removing them. It's scary to count. But on this slide, I have over 60 overlays. That's not counting. But my computer counts up to 51, but that's not accounting for all the copies I have. So there's at least over 60. There. That covers most of it. Alright. Perfection. Yes. We've got this. You can't even tell that there's supposed to be a streamer on this stream. It's just Oliver. Only Oliver. There's no fish. I'm making a custom Oliver now. Alright, go right ahead. We're gonna have viewer custom Olivers. Hello, Momster. Welcome in. Cove was left to hold down the fort. He shrugged, and one of the boas slipped down his back. You crossed the floor together, and with a wave, Baxter spoke out to the woman hunched over a table. Hello? Terry sprung up at the sound. Her face was despairing, and she skipped right past the greeting. How do you use this thing? You add the chocolate, it's supposed to go, right? 'Cause it's not going. Is there an Oliver template on Twitter? Twitter, I don't think so. There is some sort of... I did post a PNG of Oliver one time, I think, in the community page. You might try that if you're looking for an Oliver template. That's the best I can go with. I don't know if it's PNG, though. We all have to collectively start making random Olivers. I'm gonna have to post a template for you guys. I have to ask Space's permission for that, though. Because this is Space's drawing, not mine. So, if Space gets in here today, you guys can ask her if you guys could do that. Otherwise, I'll send her a Discord message later on. Alright. Baxter pursed his lips and cocked a hip, considering. Basically, yes. You add the melted chocolate into the machine and turn it on. It takes a minute, but should start to flow. We can troubleshoot. Wait, the melted chocolate? What did you think it was? Terry? What did you think it was? She released her clutch on the fountain. Doesn't it melt when you put it in? A pinch of frustration made Baxter wince. It was only momentarily. Then he was smiling placatingly. He had to deliver bad news as pleasantly as possible. To use a chocolate fountain, the chocolate must be melted ahead of time. It won't cook in the machine. Those novelties aren't that sophisticated. What? I didn't know that! I didn't know that you didn't know that. I should have asked. I should have known. I should have been the one to set it up in the first place. Okay, can we stop blaming each other and try to get the chocolate fountain to work? Baxter's regret grew and grew. You've never used one before, and I have. The both of them dropped their faces with a sigh, though the dramatics of their actions were on an entirely different levels. Baxter's dejection was subtle, restrained, Meanwhile, Terry couldn't have exaggerated her misery more. After Baxter used his own money to get it, and all the trouble you went to finding treats that could be used in it, the fountain ended up a useless metal tower. Why is my YouTube playing the stream from nowhere? What? What is it doing? Baxter isn't blaming her, he's doing a self-pity party. Yeah, exactly! They're both blaming themselves. Alright, we have our first option choice. As always, chat is allowed to answer first, but you had to beat me to it. Let's see. Does it work? Sorry, I didn't know either. I think I hate fountains with edible things now. 6. Shook our head in mutual disappointment, I think. Yep, 6. Baxter straightened himself up. Like an actual professional, he viewed the situation from an objective distance and could give perspective to the more emotionally attached Terry. I don't have the stream open on PC. Why is it playing? Is it playing on PC randomly for you? It's not too late quite yet. This is a temporary hitch. I will take the chocolate somewhere it could be melted and come back. I'll need some way to keep it warm during the trip. Wow. Perhaps a thermos would work? Angie, is your PC? What about my PC? I'm the PC? I'm a computer now? You guys covered me with cats, so now I'm a computer? That could work. Got Miku and my Wi-Fi, Angie and my PC. That sounds about right. I'll need to cover that song now, won't I? Instead of Miku, it's Angie. I could do that. I could do a cover of that song. I wouldn't mind. That'd be cute. Have to figure out how to do the animations, though. Alright, let's see. Would you be able to find a thermos and melt chocolate before the party starts? Karaoke when? Karaoke when I can figure out how to, like, do stuff with copyright not on me. I've thought about doing karaoke streams before. I just remembered I can't change my expressions because you guys can't see them. Changing them is useless. Right. Giant cat in my way. I can't express to you guys. Somehow this is more frustrating than the chibis. What will they do, sue you? Take away my channel is what I'm worried about. I can unarchive streams, though. So I could do karaoke and unarchive streams. That way maybe I won't get shot off the internet. You can ignore the copyright and just unarchive the stream. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's just, I've heard rumors before that they can still get you even if you unarchive the stream, so I was worried about that. But maybe I'm being too paranoid. Maybe I should just go with it. Because I've definitely planned karaoke streams before, and then chickened out with YouTube's copyright system. But it should be fine. I don't know. Definitely do it on a day that my voice isn't shot from doing visual novel streams. Oh, we have 2 visual novel streams this week, so, I don't know, we'll have to plan it out. I was originally planning to do a Christmas Carol stream back in December. Came back to Angie yapping, who would have guessed? I yap a lot! You know I yap a lot! There's always Discord streams, but you know, the server isn't Fishcake compatible yet. It's true. I need to hurry up and make the server Fishcake compatible for you guys. I hate math and math hates me back. When I am ever going to decide by the square divided by 11 in my life, I hate math so much I couldn't read your message for a second. I blocked out everything after divide. But Frosty Pickle didn't agree with that plan. Yeah, Frosty Pickle doesn't agree with anyone's plans. Frosty Pickle does her own thing. Pretty commonly, actually. Yes, I like yapping, obviously. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need to hurry up with that Discord server, and I keep changing my expressions. It's useless. I have a cat on me. Math is not that bad when you realize possible scenarios when you might actually use math. I stopped being able to read after the word math. What were we talking about? Right, chocolate. This is a visual novel stream, not a yapping stream. Silly me. He chuckled, and a hand over his mouth. That is highly unlikely, but all you need to do is enjoy other parts of the event first. Dance, drink, eat one of the lovely cupcakes. Then he flicked his wrist, gesturing away from his face. I'll return at some point during the evening, and the fountain will go up then. We can even act as if it was intentional to bring it out later.
Very well.
Ideally, the fountain can accompany the serving of the cake. No one has to know it was a problem, Baxter. Let's see. Surprisingly, I use math pretty often, including explanation, graphs, functions, and maybe something else. But when I have to find one of the sides of a triangle, outside of the radius, I feel like crying. I feel that. Outside of school, that is. Yeah, no, math is incredibly useful. You use it for a lot of things, actually. Doesn't mean I have to like it anymore. 6 was said a number of times, so 6 is what we shall go with. He inclined his head humbly. As flexible as I usually prefer to be, there are some situations where I can be surprisingly stubborn. This is one of them. Terry gripped her chest, overcome by such loyalty and dedication. Terry's falling for Baxter. Did not even read, just went with what others were saying. Yeah, everyone went for Baxter there. Hey man, you are the man. We'll finish getting ready and keep the party going until you can make it.
Excellent.
Thank you for saying that for me, Baxter. Good luck. It couldn't be understated what a stroke of luck it was to have someone like Baxter, Ward, on committee. Oh no, we're appreciating him. We Baxter mining and social discrimination. This amazing, yeah. We're distancing him. As someone who is studying for, oh yeah. Yeah. Luckily I'm done with most of my college stuff now. But man, I hated math classes. All of my classes were filled with writing though. I mean, I was a writing major, so it came hand in hand. But yeah, I stopped having to focus on math at some point during the whole thing. And all of my classes were just essay writing. Only essay writing. There's no raw Oliver on your YouTube, I gotta crop. Or draw by hand. Good luck everyone. Good luck on your Oliver. I wish all of you luck. Take care. With that, he sauntered out of the room, a bag of unmelted chocolate in his hand and a smile on his face. In time with shutting the door, Terry smacked her palm against the table definitively. This is gonna be the best party I've ever done, no matter what, because it's going to be the only party I'll ever throw. Never again. Next time somebody else is going to have to be in charge, I'll just help. You know, maybe that's for the best. Hello, how are you today? By the way, I'm back with Our Life and How to Train Your Dragon AU on this channel, Angie, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear more. I'm dipping out. Need to make a feeble attempt on focusing. Good luck with your Baxter problem, Angie. Thank you. I'll try my best in these trying times. Good luck with your math. I hope it all goes well for you. Won't be that hard. I use the best application in ever, MS Paint. Yes, never underestimate MS Paint. Have you seen the guy that can make, like, the Mona Lisa in MS Paint? Like, can recreate it? It's incredible what you can do with freeware. Calling Angie illiterate when she is literally reading out of novel and still being correct is something else. Hey! Hey! Let's see. There's no raw Oliver on your YouTube, but there is a Corniver. There might be. Yeah, I think I did post Corniver at one point. So actually, you might be able to look at Corniver for reference. Okay, where were we? Oh, more option choices. That's where we were. There's still a bit of the soggy horn on screen. You can't get rid of me fully. Not fully. At least leave the... It's not a horn, it's an angler. But at least leave the angler. Alright, 6 was the one I saw, so we're choosing 6. We massage the sides of our face. The strain was really starting to get to you. Come on, Rain. He's not gonna let us down. And we can't stop either. Let's finish this. You spun around only to come face to face with a fluffy Cove. He'd buried himself further in the feather boas and began fiddling with a balloon he must have inflated. Now I really want space to draw a Cove surrounded by boas. Like, you know that big buff Cove chibi that she drew? That. And boas. I want that now. When I'm done, I can remove the angler. Don't remove my angler! I need that! Right. Cove was left to wait alone the entire time. He stared awkwardly, as did Terry.
What's wrong?
Is everything alright? We can only hope, Cove. We can only hope. Okay. Cove left it at that, not any more informed or assured. And so, the party decorating continued with one less person. Sorry, Cove, this is a need-to-know basis, and it's not your route. Bye! More balloons were blown up and placed about. Streamers were strung up, and you even moved a bench from a corner to the center stage. It would act as a makeshift throne for the queen of the day. Finally, all the trash bags were carted out of the event space and tossed into a dumpster outside. The three of you returned and stood in the center of the now cleared dance floor to admire your handiwork. Wall to wall, floor to ceiling, the room gleamed. Hold on. I thought it was a weird deformation on my first stream. Like that one half of Sukuna's face, you know? Deformation! I mean, it technically is. It's an angler. Technically speaking, this isn't my real body. It's just, you know, kind of formed after I inhabited it. So technically speaking, I am the mutation. Anyway, that's for another day. We'll get to that one.
Neat.
It looks good. It does! It actually does! Terry was beaming wider than you'd ever seen. After a day and a half of almost non-stop preparations, you'd pulled off something pretty great. It was certainly a homemade arrangement by a group of friends at the last minute, but that was half of the charm. Your efforts were easy to see. You sat in a row along the edges of the stage, resting, waiting before the big event. No one talked. Cove tapped his foot. Until finally, Terry's phone went off. That little squeak. I like that. Recently, rats ate my... What? This isn't the setup of a joke. Rats are... What? Did they really? I'm sorry? I can't show you my expression to show the horror of what you just said. But what? Oh, I'm gonna keep. Okay. She read the message fervently. She murmured in haste. It's from Jude. The guests are arriving. I repeat, the guests are arriving.
All right.
Miranda, her siblings, her parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and other people. They're gonna be in this room any minute. Be ready. Terry shot from the back of the room to the front in a matter of seconds. She hit the music on. She then strung a few bags under her arms. Those ones hadn't been used for trash. Cove put the accessories in them for safekeeping until he was done wearing all of the boas himself, of course. With them hanging over her, Terry stood in wait at the entrance. You and Cove joined in. Noises could be heard on the other side. Cove's hands clenched. Terry clasped onto the shirt like she was about to meet her maker. Then the door slowly began to open. Is metal actually edible? Depends on the metal. Technically speaking, anything is edible once. It was like plastic part of them? I see. So they chewed through it, basically? On the other side, a small crowd was huddled together. At the head of it was Miranda herself. Oh my gosh! The dazzling pink party room was reflected in Miranda's big sparkling eyes. Terry threw her big leaden arms into the air. None of them fell off, fortunately. Surprise! Surprise! Surprise? As spoken, Miranda was overcome with surprise. Terry and Rain and Cove? Yeah. That's right. What did you think? What did you think of your party this year? Terry queried for her friends eagerly. Though the quickness of the question was partially motivated by the discreet anxiety. Miranda blinked, and she knew. Her family weren't the ones who put on this event. She answered with wholehearted appreciation. I love it! It's amazing! Way nicer than I ever would have thought. I need water. Sorry guys, I'm gonna stop for a second. I need water. Maybe my throat isn't as healed as I thought it was. It keeps drying out and I have to keep pausing. Alright. Monica was livid. What about Monica? That's on Friday. We're not on Monica right now. Are you surprised? You really didn't know what we were up to? You're not just being nice? You definitely got me. I didn't think this much would happen. Especially since it's not my 18th birthday or 21st or anything like that. It's only 19. Constantly dry throat? Just stream underwater like the fish you are. Yeah, that's right. I'll just like take my computer and go underwater. Sounds like a good idea. I got that. Not that, Monica. You would not understand Brazilian joke. Oh. Can you make me understand? Can you explain it, or is it too complicated? Or inappropriate? You're really leaving us hanging on the DDLC content? Listen, I'm not trying to leave you hanging. I really did mean to stream it last week. But we will be streaming it this week. Even if I'm sick, we're going to stream it. I don't know if that's recommended, but we're gonna try. We're going to try. What? All your birthdays are a big deal. Randy giggled at Terry's assertion. While her eyes were closed, you and Terry shared a look. This party was more important than Miranda realized. Thanks a ton! This is exactly what I wanted, and I didn't even know it! Cove let out a relieved breath. Terry pumped a fist victoriously, and the bag she was holding flung around. Miranda's secret birthday bash was a hit. More and more guests gathered and wondered about. They openly admired the room. Terry nodded, pleased. It's party time! Let's use the stuff we got! She dumped the contents of each sack on the empty end of the table for everyone to access. A bunch of sunglasses clattered out with the boas. Miranda gave a clap. It was one delight after another today. Terry sported sunglasses and purple feather boas. Cove just went for a pair of sunglasses. He had had enough of wearing those boas already. Aww. I wanted a boa sprite. Oh, Oliver has finally consumed the fish, I see. I was wondering when this would happen. No, I'm not eating. I'm just behind him. See? My little angler is sticking out. I'm not gone. I'm not eating, I promise. Well, there's a series of comics, which would translate to something like Monica's Gang or something like that. And then there's this one page where the 3 dialogue boxes just say what I said, explaining how Monica, the main character, was livid. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Or maybe it wasn't any fun when he was only allowed to take 1. Miranda got her own oversized shades, but instead of a boa, she was graded this special birthday girl sash, and sash to set her apart from all the other attendees. Sometimes it's like I can almost hear her voice. Don't kill me off! I'm not dead! I'm still alive! I promise! I'm almost done with base Oliver. Interesting. Excited to see these. Excited to see the custom Olivers. Though you guys are fish cakes now, not Olivers. We will miss Angie. She was dumb and had bad memories, but she was still fun. Maybe I should leave. Jesus! At least I have 1 point in funny, but like dumb and bad memory. Hey! I mean, you're right, but ow! Okay, let's see. What do we wear? What are we wearing, guys? We have a boa, sunglasses, boa, and sunglasses? Or nothing? Well, that's not fun. Nothing's not fun. I would like to request an Oliver on top of the Oliver so Angie is completely No! You're going to bury me? Nothing left to be seen? That's green Oliver. Green Oliver doesn't count. Hold on. Do I even have another Oliver copy? I don't. I have to make another Oliver copy. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hold on. There are so many Olivers on this. Okay. All right. Let's make another Oliver. And place him on top. And now I'm consumed. There's no more me. I'm completely covered in Olivers. Banished to the Oliver realm. No! You can only hear my voice now. You know, this is kind of a dream, honestly, being surrounded by Olivers. Being covered in Olivers completely. This is kind of nice, actually. It's fluffy. It's so fluffy and warm in here. And, like, oddly comforting. I think I can hear purring. Maybe this isn't so bad. Sometimes I like to think that she is still chewing on her mic somewhere. Chewing on my mic! I'd go to the lever realm. You know, it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. I think I like it here, honestly. There can only be one. You know what? Lumi and Angine. Maybe you can keep the title. Maybe I'll hand the streamer title over to you if I can stay in the Oliver realm for all of eternity. It's nice and fluffy and all of my worries seem to just melt away in here. All I have to think about is a cat. This is heaven, actually. I never want to leave. I don't have to worry about finishing Baxter. I can just leave that with you guys. All right, Luby and Jean. You can just read the Baxter route from now on. Just you. Come over here. Come right in. Read this. Take it over from me. She said chewing on my bike. If she heard me say that, I'd answer knowing you. You do it for you do it in your free time? I can't chew on my mic. It was too expensive. All right, let's don the boa and sunglasses. This made you feel like the glamorous diva from an interactive play. Nice, nice. No, Angie, you need to end this so I can finally stop seeing this mug's face on my subscription box every 2 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks. I think you guys are over-exaggerating a bit. I think it was 3 weeks. I don't actually remember. I was supposed to do this last week, though, and I decided not to because the new Soul of Sovereigns chapter came out. Or Soul of Sovereignty chapter came out. All decked out for the party, Terry directed Miranda's attention to what else was on the tables. She was charmed anew when she saw the waiting rooms of fake champagne and outright stunned when her eyes landed on the display of glittery cupcakes. She'd say it was too expensive, and I'd agree, but still, I don't doubt she'd do it. I'm not chewing on my microphone! Anyways, now that she is gone, let's go back to bullying Baxter. Yeah, go ahead, bully Baxter. Wait, you don't have to do that while I'm gone. I'll let you guys bully Baxter as much as you want.
So great.
That's so pretty! And you made so many and decorated them and everything. Thank you! Can I have one now? Or are we waiting until it's time for cake? If you want to, it's your birthday. She beamed. It was time for the queen to make her decree. Then I declare that we can all eat cupcakes right now. What a gracious hostess.
Sounds good.
Who works for me? In unison, the three of them reached out for a treat. Do we grab a cupcake or do we grab 2 cupcakes? This is very important, guys. 1 cupcake or 2 of them. My Oliver kinda sucks? No. Olivers don't suck. Olivers don't suck. Wait, now I stream? Okay, guys. After today, Minecraft every day for 12 hours. Dear God. Only 1 cupcake. I see. And bit into it right away. The fluffy cake and creamy frosting were delicious, and all the sweeter knowing how much work had gone into it. Terry licked the shiny frosting off first. That was most intriguing to her. Miranda broke the bottom of the cake off and stuck it into the frosting to make a cupcake sandwich before she took a bite. She'd seen it in a video one time and done it ever since. Cove crammed half the dessert into his mouth at once. They each had their own unique way of enjoying their confection, but enjoy it they did. It was too bad Baxter wasn't there to see the results of your shared labor. You'd have to at least let him know all the trouble wasn't in vain. I was robbed? How were you robbed? How were you? Oh, the two. Yeah, you were robbed. You in fact were robbed. I saw clowns first. I'm sorry. Never mind, I just checked and I'm still missing a very important component for streaming. Any sort of PC. You'll have to continue to suffer, other me. So it can't be you. You can't be the one, Luby Angine. There's only room for one Angie in here. BRB canceling Angie. Why am I being canceled this time? Why is chat canceling me this time? I swear, every stream it's something else. What am I being canceled for? Come on, I'm in the Oliver realm. Why are you canceling me in the Oliver realm? While the smacking occurred, you caught sight of Jude in the crowd of guests. He tied a blue boa around his forehead. The feathers hung down and partially covered his eyes. But his bangs were so long, his view was always partially obstructed, so it didn't make that much difference. Miranda's mom, dad, and her 2 older sisters were going around the room taking pictures and videos. Do you guys remember Jude? I don't remember Jude. Am I missing something? I'm already a streamer, I just don't have a fan base. You'll get one, just keep at it. Oh, right, that's what we're canceling me for. You answered first and I missed you. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I would have preferred taking 2 cupcakes. Listen, I would have done it. Whenever the cameras ended up pointing in their general direction, Terry and Miranda posed like superstars. Seeing the entire Eckert family enjoy themselves really made the effort worth the while. The cupcakes were finished and crumbs were wiped away, then hand in hand, Terry and Miranda hit the dance floor. Cove's hand, meanwhile, hovered over the platter of cupcakes. He considered taking another, but closed his fingers into a fist. He'd resisted the temptation. He jerked his head in the direction of your friends, encouraging you to come with. Cove left the snack table to toe the edge of the lit-up floor. He didn't go an inch past the border. Clapping and calling out to Miranda and Terry was as much partying as he was capable of. We should dance with Cove. I want to dance with Cove. Let's see. Okay, we can't dance with Cove. Damn it. Not his route, I suppose. It's not Cove's route, so we can't dance with him, but that doesn't mean I'm not upset by it. I miss Cove's route. I know we'll get back soon, but I miss Cove's route. He smiled over at you when it became obvious you weren't going anywhere. It was nice, the way your group could neatly split in half and still have fun. More and more guests crowded into the bright lights at the center, like moths to a flame. Terry whipped and twirled her boa, and Miranda's sunglasses kept almost flying off of her face with the quick-footed moves she was pulling. After a couple of songs, Terry dragged Miranda to the front so she could sit at the throne you'd prepared for her. Time for a cheer! Being the center of attention normally embarrassed Randy, but today she could ignore those inclinations. Wait there, Randy! Cove, help me out with the drink. Help me get the drinks around. She searched for you along the outskirts of the room and winked when your eyes met. You've got to make up for not helping at all yesterday. Fine. Didn't we kick Cove out of it yesterday? No, he was at work. That's why. I see. Yeah, now I remember. He was at work. And Back had to see one of those theatric funny stories. I see. No problem. Let's see here. They got to it, pouring and then passing drinks around the room. Cove offered one from the first batch to you. A grim-faced lady saw what was going on and silently helped give out the glasses of fake champagne. She knew the drill without being told. Grim-faced lady. Interesting description for this game. Thanks to the efforts of those 3, most people had a cup ready to go. At the front stage, Terry passed the guest of honor a glass too. It was time. To the B-Day girl! Happy birthday, Miranda! Dozens of sparkling drinks glimmered under the shining lights as they were raised in a toast. People drank and clicked glasses with whoever they were rubbing elbows with. Giving Oliver ego. Yeah, go for it. Have you ever heard about the 3-headed black monster? A monster made, That's weird. They said it that way? That's weird. Spoilers, he was actually, That's also weird. What? What am I reading? Okay. Alright. Take a sip. Chug the entire glass. This is like juice, right? Or is it sparkling water? What goes into fake champagne? My creation is complete. Excited to see it. Let's chug it. Tipping the stem of the cup to the ceiling, you downed the fake champagne. A rush of bubbles scratched your throat, but it didn't stop. You like to party hard, and Cove could not judge considering how he inhaled a cupcake only 10 minutes ago. With a half-full plastic champagne glass, Miranda leapt from her seat, off the stage, and landed in the crowd on the dance floor. That got a second round of cheering. Terry followed right after, and the celebrating resumed in full force. Cove still didn't quite dance himself, but he did bop his head to the music and tap a foot. Yeah, no, 2 made the most sense. We had to go with it. Angie, can I send you my Oliver and put him on screen? Yep, sure. I'll do that. That will be your last request from Josh. We can do that. What are you sending me? Are you sending it through Twitter? X, whatever it's called? Yes? Okay. Let's see. Have you already sent it? It doesn't look like it. Oh, there it is. Do you have a PNG version of it? It's not sending as a PNG. Let's see here. I can try. We'll see, we'll see. Twitter might not have the best, capabilities in this sense. I'll see what I can do. Let's see here, so... we got it. Yeah, Twitter's not always the best with making things PNG. Yeah, it doesn't look like he wants to be a PNG. That's fine. That's fine. I'll still put him on the screen for you. He doesn't have to be a PNG. He can just have a white background. He commands his own white background. Let's put him on. There. There's our custom Oliver. Where do you want him? Where would you like your Oliver to go? There is no ugly Oliver. I wish I could send an Oliver, but all my 3 accounts on Twitter are not usable at the moment. It's fine. I also have an email if you guys would rather send me an email with it. It's on my my card page, which is linked on my YouTube channel. So you guys can send it through that as well. Alright. On the Oliver Tower, slightly floating. Got it, got it. We'll do it like this. He's floating above them. Next to the live reaction. BRB gonna draw an Oliver. Alright, can't wait to see it. Show me all of your Olivers. Is that Oliver Funeral of the Dead Butterflies? Yes. Oliver wearing an ego suit. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, let's move on, shall we? You swayed along with the music, watching the festivities. Like the cupcakes, you all relished the moment in your own ways. That afternoon was the party to end all parties, for better or worse. Where can I find your card? It should be in my YouTube description, not the description of the video, but my actual YouTube channel description. There should be a link to my card in there. If it's not, I know for a fact I put my card at least one time in my community page, but I don't know which community page post it was in, but I know for a fact I did link my card in one of my community pages. Also, it is on my Twitter. If you can use Twitter, my card is on my Twitter. The music and cider flowed without stopping until... Yo, Randy! Miranda's big brother slipped through the few cracks in the wall of dancers until he reached the heart of the floor. Food's here! It's cake time! Yay! Miranda gave a final gleeful twirl on her tiptoes. The birthday sash fluttered. Terry waved at you and Cove.
Oh, yeah.
Let's eat! The gang returned back at the refreshments table. And there, along with Miranda's parents, setting out the sandwich platters for lunch was another figure. A distinctly monochrome figure. I literally can't use Twitter. One account is suspended for no reason since, like, And the other two are deactivated. I see. I get it. No problems. Yeah, the card account is linked on here, so it should be somewhere around here, but I don't remember entirely which post it's on, but I did post it on YouTube before. What the hell happened? I tried removing the background, which is white, and suddenly Oliver turned from Oliver into an Alf Abno. Don't remove the background. Clearly that was what triggered it. Clearly, the counter will decrease by 1 if you try to move the background, so don't remove the background. It's obviously. Let's see, where were we? Yes, we already read this. He acted entirely at ease behind the table, busy doing a final check over a chocolate fountain. It was flipped on and slowly liquefied chocolate began to trickle out. Baxter did it. Is that Baxter? Miranda peered closer. She'd come face to face with an unexpected acquaintance in the gathering of people she'd known best. Yep, he was here before too. Oh, why is he setting up a chocolate fountain for my birthday party? Terry's hands went on her hips and she came out with the whole story. Bayman was a crucial member of the secret party planning group who made this whole thing happen. Wait, really? Miranda looked back and forth between Baxter and Terry at a loss. Baxter is nice, and I think he can't stand to see an event fail spectacularly or something, but for whatever reason, he wanted to help out. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back, Okapi! No, not Baxter. It's Baxter's route. What are you expecting, him not to show up? This is the Baxter DLC. He took us to the store to get supplies, made cupcakes, put up decorations, and did just about everything for the chocolate fountain. It almost had to be nixed like 3 times. Baxter kept his professionally polite demeanor the entire conversation, despite the fact that he had to have heard what they were talking about. Feigning ignorance, he came around to the other side of the table to properly greet the guest of honor. Hello, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. She barely knew what to say after finding out exactly how much he had contributed. But her gaze dropped and she tugged at the sash self-consciously. A minute before, she was the life of the party, embracing the cheesy glitz and gusto, but in front of him, she felt childish. Baxter gave a considerate smile. You should be able to manage the fountain now that it's running. I hope the rest of the party will be a lovely time. You're leaving already? Her question was barely a peep. She had to muster all her confidence to say that much. Yes, my job is done. I was only here for that. What? It was as if the floor dropped out from under you. Baxter had worked as hard as anyone else to make the... What was that? Baxter had worked as hard as anyone else to make this party happen. He pulled an all-nighter for it, and he was just going to leave? But what else could you say against it? Of course he couldn't invite himself to Miranda's surprise birthday party, and she never had a chance to give him permission to attend. Staring at him, he was as unruffled as ever. Baxter knew all along he wouldn't get to experience the results of his hard work, and did it anyways. But, well... She released her hold on the accessory and looked into Baxter's face directly. It was really thoughtful of you to do all this. You should stay and enjoy the party too. You are a gracious host. His words held sincere appreciation, at the welcome extended, enough to get your hopes up. But I can't do that. The rejection was equally amiable. That didn't make it less disappointing. You don't owe me anything. Certainly not a place among your real friends at your birthday party. There's no reason to feel guilty. Now, if you'll excuse me, take care. Fun fact, Celine Baxter's Light Fury is on the place where Miranda's party is in. Nice, nice! All hell, Corniver, the card link is on the same post as Corniver. Ah! Corniver will lead the way. Corniver will lead the way. Also ignore the Oliver that is blessed. Don't ignore the Oliver that is blessed. He doesn't want you to ignore him. He wants you to stare at him. With a kindly wave that left no room for further arguments, Baxter breezed past your group. That was it. He was gone. Terry began to frown at some point. She had been willing to do anything to make Miranda's birthday great, but it came at a greater cost than she'd thought. Terry piled job after job on Baxter's shoulders because he was just another part of the group in her mind. She realized too late that he wasn't and never had been. Cove could only silently rub the scar on his left arm, and worst of all, Randy's cheer hadn't returned after Baxter's vanishing act was completed. He'd earnestly wished her to be happy, but it was understandably hard to get into the celebratory spirit after that kind of revelation. It shouldn't have to end like that. It didn't have to end like that. You wouldn't let it end like that. If Baxter wasn't going to be at Miranda's birthday, there had to be something else he could be a part of. You mentally grappled with the problem and cast your eyes about, trying to grasp any hint of an idea. Then, something Terry said earlier came back to you. Terry? All three of the others glanced your way. It was the first crack in the awkward silence, and that was enough for Cove and Miranda to also take an interest. Yeah? Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I owe you my life for making sure that this wasn't a disaster. I'll help you with whatever you want.
Me too.
I'll help too, if there's anything I can do. Thanks. Miranda, your birthday party is going to be over in a couple of hours, right? Mm-hmm. And Terry, the room is ours all the way until the building closes. Yep, you've got to rent it for the entire day to get this place. Then, tonight, after all the other guests are gone, we could use this venue for an after party. Or no, a brand new party. Another party? He tilted his head incredulously. Yeah, another party. Not a birthday. It could be our very own. Let's see. Oliver is everywhere and in every part of the world and universe. That is exactly right. Oliver is life. Oliver is love. He might be talking about heretics in the Savior right now. Yeah? 3, chocolate fountain celebration. Perfect. And it can be for just our group. Me, Randy, Terry, Cove, and Baxter. We could try to set aside some of the food and drinks for later, clean up the mess when everyone is left, and we'll have slow music at the event. Let's see. You know how much you wanted to dance and do it with him? Alright, do we want to dance with Baxter or not? Do we throw him a bone? It's the last chapter. So either we throw him a bone or not. Or we just dance with everyone. Friendship party. It's up to you guys. I purely let you guys choose these decisions. 2? Alright, friendship party. So, Terry, you could pay him back for everything he did. By being his partner for that. Yeah! The first to affirm this idea was the one originally most trepidatious about Baxter being there, but she answered with confidence.
Let's do it.
I'll be a member of the secret planning party committee for this surprise. If he can do it for me, I can do it for him. And maybe Terry was right. We could all use more friends.
Cove did not look convinced at... Okay, hold on. I need water for a second. I'm losing my voice. No, Baxter. You can't get rid of Baxter and Baxter's event. Cove did not look convinced of all that, though couldn't disagree with the main suggestion. Okay. A wide grin pulled at Terry's face, seeing this new plan forming.
We could catch him before he's gone. He might not get the message if he escapes now. You're right. Thanks and bye. You rush through the guests coming in on all sides, clamoring for their lunch. Bursting out of the party room was like waking from a dream. The pink extravaganza was replaced by a plain white hallway, and the only sounds were your own footsteps echoing on the linoleum floors. You've been able to forget the normal world for a while, but it'd been there the entire time, going on as usual on the other side of the door. But Baxter wasn't there either. You kept going through the lobby and into the parking lot. His hair might have fit in with the black ceramic and white painted tiles, but the camouflage couldn't fool you. He was at the end of the row, moments away from getting into his car. Pushing yourself further, you shot down the wide open space. He turned around, hearing something rapidly approaching. Rain, did something happen? Wait, please tell me it's not the chocolate fountain again. Always the fountain. Falls into chat. Welcome, welcome, Aubrey. You changed your profile picture again. Your gait had slowed immensely in the final feat, and you came to a stumbling stop in front of Baxter. He waited patiently for an answer. Nothing is wrong. Well, that is a relief. You could have fooled me, however. You shouldn't be running out of a building if there's no issue. Go enjoy the damned fountain. Oh, hey, I wasn't expecting Baxter to cuss. That's a first. Baxter's grin was teasing, harmless, though you didn't miss the layer of genuine frustration at the stupid machine after all the trouble it had caused. He smoothed his face and shirt out in fluid motions. I'll be fine. Perhaps I'll take a nap, I'm going back. I just have to ask you something first. I see. I'm all ears. Okay, so you know you've already done a lot for the party, and us, but if you're not too exhausted, could you come here again tonight? Around 7 p.m.? Baxter's almost unshakable smile was lost to suspicion. Not good. This was a surprise you were planning. You threw out the first cover that popped into your head before he could speak the obvious question on the tip of his tongue. What are we going with? Almost done with Clown Oliver? Can't wait to see it! All of you are gonna have to show me your custom Olivers. Okay? None of you are allowed to leave. I want to see the custom Olivers. Fun fact, Suncloud Cove's Night Fury is at Miranda's party too. Nice! That's cute. Okay, let's see here. Option choice. The thing is, I don't want to ride home with Terry. I don't want to ride home with Terry. Are we causing drama? Are we saying there's some sort of drama happening? Let's see. Need help cleaning after the party? Yeah, we just need you to come back and clean. Let's tell him we need him to clean. We'll do that. A razor-sharp smirk crossed his face. That gaze cut right through you. Even more not good. But he wasn't there when Terry mentioned how long you'd have the room. Baxter might know something was up, but you assured yourself he couldn't guess exactly what. You stood your ground. Would Oliver be a catfish? He's not a catfish, he is just a regular cat. But I'd be more than willing to make him into a catfish, have that be an outfit request from space. But Oliver is not under the sea. Alas, I can only have him when I'm not in the sea. Unfortunately. I want to be buried in Olivers like this every single day. Certainly, Rain. I'll be here at 7 on the dot. Let's see. Oh my god. These options. My bad, once again, had to go on a rant after my friend dared saying that she does not understand too much about Greek mythology. No problem at all. I also go on rants about Greek mythology every once in a while. How often do you guys think about Greek mythology? Just a simple question. Do you guys think about it often? Because I do.
I don't know. It comes in my mind every once in a while, and I end up thinking about it quite a bit. So the Hades game has been going pretty well for me. Okay, let's see. We'll let out a breath. How about that? We'll let out a breath. My profile pic right now is literally Medusa. I can't actually see your profile pic that well. Since it's so light. And like you guys are just small, itty bitty little dots for me on the screen, so I can't actually see you guys that well. We'll let out a breath. This was going to work. You were sure of it. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Yes, you will. Baxter parted from you yet again, but as you saw him off, you felt good about it. This time, him leaving didn't mean he was simply gone. It meant you'd have time to prepare for his return. You found your way to the party room just in time to sing happy birthday. Sliding alongside the rest of the group, you acted as if you'd never left. Cove chuckled and quietly welcomed you back. I think of Greek mythology whenever it's relevant to whatever I'm doing at the moment. I just randomly, every now and then, I'll get a random Greek mythology story in my head. And suddenly I'm thinking about Greek mythology all over again. It is an art I found on Pinterest and loved. Makes sense. Pinterest has a lot of really good art stuff. I use it for art references quite a bit. Plus, another sign that Angie is going senile. Not only is her memory bad and her hearing even worse, but she also has bad vision. Okay, alright, listen you. I can't glare at you because I'm behind a mountain of cats, but I'm watching you. You're on thin ice, tar underscore tarnished. You're on thin ice. And I'm right below it, because I'm a fish. Anyway, next. Terry's confetti cake was placed in front of Randy at the head of the table. The 19 candle you picked out from the store yesterday was lit up by her dad. When she blew it out, the room filled with cheers. Her friends and family ate sandwiches, salads, and cake. The chocolate fountain was a huge hit, too. Thank goodness. Miranda, Cove, Terry, and yourself each squirreled away a plate of extra desserts and snacks for the secret party. Soon, guests got a second wind and more dancing commenced, though you and your friends took it easy on the sidelines instead. Every single one of you could enjoy yourselves to the fullest now, and you did for the final couple hours of the party. When it got closer to dinner time, guests began to trickle out little by little. Many of them came by to hug Miranda and wish her the best once more. That was how Miranda's 19th birthday concluded, and now the preparation for the chocolate fountain celebration began. You informed the team on when Baxter would be arriving and how they couldn't dally. The four of you plus Miranda's parents and siblings cleared up trash and took down the decorations that indicated a birthday was going on. One of the tables in the sound system was left in place for the chocolate fountain celebration. At 6:50, Miranda kindly used the last of her birthday girl power to ask her family to get out of there so her friends could have their own party. I wish I could just do that sometimes. Family leave! I am having my friend party now. Cease being here. That doesn't happen. Guess then you can't see me because you saw how much I was smiling. My thin ice would break on the spot. I'm staring at you suspiciously now. Very suspiciously. The Eckert clan accepted being kicked to the curb and graciously made themselves scarce. Jude held by a peace sign as he shut the door behind himself, and the rest of the folks taking their leave. At 6:55, you double-checked the dance floor for any debris. It was spotless. At 6:58, you wandered around the room, trying to pick out the best place to stand and wait. Terry teasingly wondered aloud if that's what she looked like before Randy arrived. It was. At exactly 7, the door cracked open. Excuse me, may I come in? No, leave. Special friends only.
Unsure of what he was walking into, Baxter paused at the precipice. Yes, come in. That was all the encouragement needed. Baxter came into the party room. He smiled graciously at the cluster of people silently standing ahead of him. Cove leaned over stiffly like a balloon slowly deflating. He whispered awkwardly into your ear. What are we supposed to say now? Are we shouting surprise for this?
Surprise! I don't know, chat, you want to take this one or are you going to make me take it? I like the, just the, shrug. It's just, I don't know, what do you think? Yeah, the, I like that one. Not a single person on the team, yourself included, knew what should come next. Baxter pretended not to notice and offered a prompt to spark conversation instead.
How are you?
Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. Yes! How good of you to come, Baxter. With the way Terry rubbed her hands together and the vague sense of satisfaction in her tone, she was giving the impression he'd fallen into a nefarious trap.
Well, it is, right? We're starting the human sacrifice over there or something? It's what this was, right? Did I get the wrong party? Oliver is done. Send him! Send thy Oliver to mine hands!
Now all the guests have finally arrived and we can begin!
What?
What do you mean? I should think the guests have left by this point. Baxter had a generously low level of confusion at the strangeness, merely raising his brow rather than making a hasty retreat. Even though Baxter would probably be the last person who knew he'd be scared off by villainous shenanigans, you decided to avoid any potential misunderstandings. Well, we're here for a chocolate fountain celebration.
It's posted? Okay, let me see this. What's it gonna be on? Is it on Twitter? Where'd you post it to? Yeah? Okay. I will find it real fast. I just gotta find you first. But we'll find it real fast. Okay, just gotta go over here. Click a few things. Okay, that's the Oliver we're going with. You guys hate PNGs, don't you? Twitter doesn't do PNGs well, admittedly. Twitter doesn't do PNGs well. Alright, I will take that Oliver. And we will add said Oliver to the screen, and since I can't be bothered to make a PNG right now, it's not a PNG! This is it! This is your Oliver. Enjoy! Clowniver.
Let's continue now, shall we? A chocolate fountain celebration, you say? You've got it! This event is Miranda's birthday no more. She dramatically crossed her arm over the other and flung them outwards, as if swearing off the entire concept of a birthday. Terry had to rent this room for the entire day, even though we only needed it until the middle of the afternoon. So we decided to use the last few hours we had here to have another party, one that's for the group of us, so you're invited. You parted from the bunch to position yourself right in front of the stunned Baxter. Baxter's mouth opened wordlessly as he stared up at your face. Then, with eyes still wide, a delighted grin grew across Baxter's face.
To be honest,
I must admit, I assumed you were scheming something, but I absolutely did not think it'd be this.
What? Where were you on prom night? You're asking me that? Where I was on prom night? Why is he looking at me like it's my fault? What? What about this? I didn't even have a prom. I did go to a prom. But I did not have a prom. No, talking about Lieber? I see. Okay, that makes sense. Oliver, obviously, was the most popular one at prom.
I never should have doubted your abilities to throw a surprise party. Terry, Randy, and Cove crowded around the two of you to reform the group with the newest members. Didn't I tell you the best way to have something be a real surprise is if you do it all in the last second so no one ever has a chance to put it together?
You're very...
Yes, you did. I suppose there are some advantages to the strategy after all. And so, the chocolate fountain celebration commenced. You hung around the almost barren snack table. It was the only piece of furniture left behind from Randy's party. There weren't even chairs, mostly. Miranda had joked that Baxter could take the throne now if he wanted to. That part came with the room. He courteously declined. Dinner was simple, more sandwiches and salad. It was also mostly quiet meal, but that's exactly what was needed. At 7 a.m. that morning, you'd left to prepare for Miranda's birthday. 12 hours later, you were still there. Lazily enjoying one another's company after an extremely long day couldn't be overappreciated. Cove wiped crumbs from his mouth after he was done eating and addressed Baxter without being spoken to first for a change. There's dessert for you too. A slice of cake and one of the cupcakes. I think I perhaps missed a few steps on the Oliver meme iterations. We've been waiting for you, Space. We've been awaiting your arrival. Perhaps, yeah, there was a few Oliver memes that came across. There was some stuff that we decided to add. You know, we have, no one knows how to post a PNG on Twitter, first of all. So we have a clown Oliver in the left corner of the screen, and we have, a ego suit funeral of the butterflies outfit in the top of the screen. Also, he's been blessed for some reason. I'm not sure why he's been blessed. That worries me. It's all very beautiful. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without my beautiful fans here, drawing me more Oliver content. Thank you for that. Thank you, everyone, for the Olivers. Thank you. I'd like to try the cake Terry made, but I've had quite enough of the cupcakes. Fair enough. He was well acquainted with the confections, even if he'd never taken a single bite. Then, can I have it? Of course, Cove. Of course, this was just a ploy for you to get more sweets. Should have known, Holden. Should have known. Please do. Don't forget the chocolate fountain! Terry jumped in with another sampling suggestion. That contraption was Baxter's second, arguably more formidable enemy of the evening. It's still going strong! You gotta try it! However, he chuckled. All right, if you insist. After all, that is the namesake of the event. For all the trouble it caused, the fountain had indeed kept flowing, ever as the night went on and dozens of treats passed through it. That was the only part of the equation that was in good shape, however. The platter of goodies alongside it had become a plate of baddies. What remained was some snapped pretzel fractions, scraps of fruit, and mostly the full-sized granola bars. Oh, no marshmallows. Shame. Wait, what did Kesari say? Kesari tried guessing what lever I put on screen. I am really proud of him. A clown as wonderful as that could only be produced by a clown like you. Oh, that hit straight. Oh my god, Kesari. Space, what are you saying? Man, Space is a bully. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but Space bullies me.
She bullies me all the time. I'm just a poor fish giving her cookies so she can draw me pictures, and she bullies me. She bullies me. You know, I'm a fish, so I like shiny things. I like shiny things. You guys should know this. Obviously, I'm a fish, so I like shiny things. It just happens. It's, you know, a thing. So when she drops something on the ground, of course I have to go and pick it up, right? Because it's usually shiny. So I pick it up and return it to her. Because I don't steal things. I just look at the shiny stuff and then hand it back to her. It's what I do, right? It's just how it goes. So this girl, one time, Space and I went to the movies together with her sisters. We went to the movie together with her sisters, and she was, you know, talking to them about how, like, yeah, we're friends and all, we're best friends, and look, she even fetches things for me, and she drops her keys on the ground and just stares at me with eager eyes. Like, do it, fish. Do it, Angie. You know you will. Pick up the damn keys. And I did, but I was glaring at her the whole time. Space. I'll never forget. That's actually funny. Yeah, it's a true story too. I'm not just making it up. She really did that. She was just like, yeah, look, watch. She'll pick them up for me. And her sisters were just staring at Space with disapproving eyes. Like, what are you making her do? And they were looking at me like, do you need help? Is she bullying you? Do you want to talk about this? We didn't know that our sister was so bad. I'll never forget. It was hilarious. Oh. They thought it was very funny. They did! I know you were the kind to fall on traps on purpose. Listen, I don't mean to fall into the traps, okay? And hey, at least I've never assaulted anyone during laser tag. It was one time. It was one time, and we became friends afterwards. Anyways, no, I'm not telling that story just yet. You guys can just guess. Moving on, what is this chocolate fountain? What is this chocolate fountain? Excuse me, it's piling up. What is this chocolate fountain? Uh-oh. Did my connection drop? Okay, no, we're back. I guess we're fine. It looked like my connection dropped for a second. Okay, anyways. Cookies and marshmallows had, to the shock of no one, been more popular choices. Those were gone long before the first party had ever finished. Angie ended. I didn't end stream. We're still here. Imagine if Suncloud and Celine eat some of the chocolate from the chocolate fountain. That'd be cute, but can they? Are dragons safe with chocolate? Space, do you have an X account? No. She doesn't. I keep telling her she needs to get some sort of social media so I can flirt with her online. It's like, it's sad. I can only bully her in person. I can't bully her on social media. What the heck is up with this? Angiosaurus Lumiraptors come back here? What do you mean one time? It was one time, like I said. What part did you not get? Moving on. I'm allergic to social media, aren't we all? That's like, it's relatable. But get on here so I can flirt with you online! I think Suncloud and Celine were only eat fish. I see. That makes sense. I'm going to pester you until you tell that story. You're going to pester me for a long time. I might tell that story one day. I might. But it's going to be a while. Maybe I'll tell the story if I can actually, like, I don't know, if you guys could actually, like, see my face. You guys kind of decided to surround me in Oliver's, which is great. I love it here. It's nice and fluffy and so cuddly, but I suddenly don't feel like telling any personal life stories all of a sudden. When I can't even look at you guys. As your lawyer, I want to know the story. It is important to tell your lawyer everything, but right now, no. If you tell us, I'll change my Oliver. Maybe Maybe I will, but Olivers have to move in order for me to tell the story. That is my only condition. I have to be able to see you guys. But currently all I can see is orange fluffiness, which is great. It is great. I'll tell the story. No, Space. You don't tell it right. You can't tell the story. Angie, flip a coin to decide. Flip a coin to decide what? If I tell the story or not? Heads tell, tails don't. You guys are gonna trust me on flipping a coin? If we keep distracting her, there'll be a 31. There will be a part 31. I'm already telling you now, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get through the entire epilogue in one go. The last time I tried to get through an entire epilogue in one go, it took almost, so it was like 6 hours, and we ended up having to stop to go to a second part. We're not even on the epilogue yet, so. What do you mean I don't tell it right? You mean I don't lie to imply that you have any more of innocence in the matter? No, Space. What I'm saying is that you're the victim, so you're gonna be biased, obviously. I can't have you tell it. It's more interesting when the criminal tells the story, don't you think? Hey, lawyer, hey, lawyer, how am I looking right now? How do we know it's not cheating? Exactly. You guys don't know if I'm cheating or not. That wouldn't be any fair. Can't ask me to flip a coin. I mean, I won't cheat, but you guys just have to take my word for that. And if it comes up in a way that you guys aren't happy with, bad, you should tell the story to make it believable. You guys really want to hear the laser tag story that bad, huh? That bad? All right. Because I plan on making VODs later on, and this seems like it would be a good VOD story, more than anything, I'm going to remove some Olivers from the screen while I tell this story. I will return the Olivers back to the screen once the story is done. So, I'm slowly removing the Olivers, but they will be back. They will be back. No need to worry. The Olivers will come back. Okay, no more Olivers. More Olivers always. The Olivers will come back. I promise the Olivers will come back. Move them to the side for the funny. I'll post them again. I'll post them. I'm ready to fact check you. So be warned. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna try to make myself the innocent one here. Don't worry. I know what I did might not have been right. But in my defense, Your Honor, I was like what, 10? How old were we, Space? Do you even remember? We were really young when this happened. Yes, for those that don't know, Space and I are childhood friends. You would have been 11? Okay. Yeah, you're remembering that part more than me. Space and I are childhood friends. We have been friends for a very, very, very long time. This is actually our friendship origin story. Funny enough, this is actually our friendship origin story. So. How this story went. So, I had a friend. What are we naming this friend, Space? You know what? We'll work on this together. Just for like all parts. What should we name this friend? I'm Fish, you're Space. We should give this character a cool name too. Jebediah? Okay, Jebediah. Jebediah, we were both friends with. Name them Reginald. We name other things Reginald. Alright. We were both friends we were both friends with Jebediah. And this I'm like trying to debate how to tell the story. Little fishy Angie Lumine, little 11-year-old Angie Lumine, had a crush on said guy. Crushes were a dime a dozen when I was a kid, and I had a huge crush on Mr. Jebediah over here. Tempting if only I can shout over her. Good luck, I'll just mute you. So I had a crush on Mr. Jebediah, and one day, he was having a birthday party. And so little fish me was really excited because he invited me and no one else to, well, like out of the girls to this birthday party. And so I was really excited because I thought I was going to be the only girl there at this birthday party. And I get there, and lo and behold, there is one other girl at this party. Space. She was super short then, too, by the way. Super, super short. But yeah, she was super short at this party. And I'm just gonna keep rubbing in the short jokes for a little while, because I need to rub it in for Space. I need to really emphasize how short Space is. Bro, I was 10 and you never grew past it. Anyways. So, there was. You're beefing with the height of a 10-year-old. Yes. You haven't grown too much from then, apparently. Not even an inch. Anyways, so at said birthday party, everything was going fine for the most part. The jealousy had started to kick in a little bit. The 11-year-old petty jealousy had started to kick in a little bit. The drama Lumine situation is insane. Yeah, just gonna post that. I'll do a stream where it's just me and Space arguing and call it the drama Lumine situation. Anyways, Space. For those of you that don't know, Space is a wonderful person. Space is very personable, very social. She's introverted, don't get me wrong, but she's very hard to dislike. She's very good at talking. She's very sweet, very, 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 very likable. Her apology video to me, except I'm there and isn't apologizing. Trying to cover your ass. It's true. But Space is very likable. And so Space, with her likableness, was all over Jebediah. All over him. Because they were friends. It wasn't anything, it wasn't anything like, Space trying to be, exactly, she was hanging out with her friend, but all over him. And I couldn't get a moment in for myself. But there was one thing, one hope I had. For context, Space is gay. Space isn't even attracted to Jebediah, but I was. But, Space was all over Jebediah, and I couldn't get in at all. And the jealousy started rising. I didn't know this girl, by the way. Space and I did not know each other at this moment. But the jealousy was rising, and the only hope I had was that we were playing laser tag later into the day. I had never played laser tag before. I've been in the ocean for a long time, so the concept of laser tag was a little new to me. I didn't know what it was at all. Hello, hi, welcome in. You're in here on a very incriminating story for me. But, laser tag was something I was not used to at all. I didn't know it. I had no idea what I was about to get into. But I was staring at little Space, watching her take my man, again, we were 11, take my man at this party. And I could not let that happen. And so, we had eaten, the cake was already done, and the last event of the night was to play laser tag. And we were all dividing up into teams. I think there was like 3 teams, but I actually can't remember that well. And suddenly, when I tried to reach out to Jebediah myself, reach out to him so that we could be on a team together, suddenly, who comes in but Space, grabbing his arm, and is just like, oh, we'll form a team together. Us, best friends. Not Angie. Us, only us, best friends can form a team together. Outsiders go away. And so, I saw this, and I was left on my own. I didn't know the friend group at all. I only knew Jebediah. I only knew him. And Space had just taken my spot. And so I knew that from this day on, it would be war between us. That we could not go on, and I couldn't just be friends and let it go. And so I only saw red from this moment forward. I was actually kicked off onto a different team with 2 guys that were actually not part of the party. They were just some extras that wanted to play laser tag. Didn't really talk to them much, didn't really matter. I, again, had never played laser tag before, but I was not happy with the situation. And so, I only saw red. And I might have blacked out for a little bit, grabbed the gun, dropped from the 2nd story on top of Space, with the laser in her face. And yeah, that was that story. I jumped on top of her from the 2nd story with a laser gun to her face. Because my vision was red and I was jealous. Space was traumatized. Jebediah was really, really bad at laser tag and got hit a whole bunch by other people. That's a story for a different day. I jumped off from the 2nd story to right on top of Space to get her. Space stayed clear away from me for the rest of the party. And I felt confident knowing that I had defended my place that night, that I really showed this girl. And then after that party, I never saw Jebediah again because he moved away to another country, and Space and I instead met in school when the school year finally came up again, and we became best friends because we forgot about the entire incident until we mentioned it again later on. So funny enough, this is our friendship origin story. Space and I became best friends after this incident, and I truly, truly never saw Jebediah again. That was it. That was the last night I had seen Jebediah. I don't know what happened to him. He moved to a different country. Like, for real. Now we all know why K3 is so short. Yeah, I jumped on top of it. I scared the growth spurt out of her. It'll never come back. Sorry, Space. Oh, can we get an Oliver on top of that cake? It's a chocolate fountain. It's a chocolate fountain, and yes, we can. Hope he's doing all right. I hope he knows the chaos he inadvertently caused. I mean, if only Jebediah could see what actually happened out of that night. He unintentionally caused 2 best friends. Well, my jealousy at 11 was good for something, I suppose. Angie put Space in the 360 no-scope. Yeah, we played laser tag again, like, years later, and when we were choosing teams, Space immediately grabbed my arm and was just like, I'm not letting you be on someone else's team. She was like, nope, not again. We're on each other's team, so you can't do that again. It was funny. Have you considered a whole stream where Oliver covers the whole stream? The whole screen? No, I haven't. That's an idea. It's just an Oliver screen. Bro, literally never again learned my lesson. Oh, yeah, it's funny to think about. Oh my god. And that's the story of why space is so short. She'll never grow again. A joke stream, basically. Yeah, basically. I could put some lo-fi music over it. Some lo-fi, put it over it, and just have Cat. The stream will just be titled Cat. And it'll just be that. For 12 hours. Sounds good. Alright, I will return all the Olivers on screen. Now that we've told the origin story of Space and I will put the Olivers back on screen. Don't eat Oliver. Oliver's a cat. He's not for eating. Angie, please play Super Mario Bros. I need you to say the Goomba was all over my friend. What? Nope, that's Green Oliver. Green Oliver isn't on this stream. Where are the other Olivers? There's one. There's one. There's one. There's one more. There's at least one more that has been hidden. There he is! There he is. I am now once again surrounded in Olivers. Also, we had another Oliver request for On Top of the Chocolate Fountain, right? So let's do that. We will take another Oliver. And we will put him on top of the fountain. We gotta make him a little smaller to do that. On top of the fountain. There we go. There's our extra Oliver. Now, can you remove my lever and put Baxter on the corner? Which one was yours? Is it the giant one? Bullying Casery is therapeutic. You get me. You get me. Was your Oliver the giant one? The big one? Okay. Then we are removing Big Oliver from the screen. Which is this one. And we are putting a Baxter in the corner. Let's see here. That's what you requested, right? Let me just make sure of that. Put Baxter in the corner. Do you want the chibi Baxter, or do you want an actual image of Baxter in the corner? Both are doable. I love how Subnautica has like millions of players. Angie has like 271 subs and like 5 average active chatters, and somehow I found a person who I got a time caps. That was crazy. Like legitimately, that was crazy. I love seeing that though. That's amazing. I'm gonna like give some sort of message at the end of, when we reach the end of mine. I'm still debating what to give, but I know I'm gonna grab a fish and name him Filbert and send him out. But also we need to send something good, I think, to future players with that. Okay. Let me get a Chibi Baxter on the screen. I need to find it. I corrupted the one that Space originally gave me, so I need to find one now that's not. He's buried somewhere in here in all of my files. It's nice to see you guys again. There he is. Found him. Alright, do you want him up here? Is this where you want him? You better take care of my hair. Yeah! Definitely! Bottom corner, please? Sure thing. I'll put him standing right on top of, Clown's Oliver, like it's a box he's standing on. Only the head showing? Ooh, we can do that. We can do that. Hold on, let me change some stuff around. So that should be, yeah. There we go. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's continue reading.
Not one to complain, Baxter plucked up a granola bar and slipped one into the rippling sheet of liquid chocolate that he'd melted himself. Cove, meanwhile, wasn't going to settle for that, despite being the one who bought them. He tore off a piece of his second cupcake of the night and stuck into the fountain. His fingers got coated as well. Baxter languidly watched Cove make a careless mess. You know, food that crumbly will get into the chocolate and... never mind. Smirking, Baxter removed his bar from the fountain and flipped around. He leaned his backside against the edge of the table.
Honestly.
What does it matter if the chocolate clumps? I wouldn't care if the fountain broke at this point. The point was punctuated with a satisfied bite into his chocolate-covered granola bar. That's good. No matter how definitively he made the statement, it was hard to tell if he was being serious or not.
Which one we going with, chat? Reading? Still read? Thought this was a chatting stream. No, it's a reading stream. I'm reading you guys a bedtime story, obviously. While I'm surrounded by cats still. 5? All right. We're leaving the chocolate fountain because we don't want to be next to the icky boys.
Simply watching the two of them was enough for you. When the slim pickings became non-existent pickings, even the most daring among you had to call it quits on the fountain. Terry used the final chance to fulfill her most base urge, sticking her tongue directly into the stream of chocolate. Terry, that's gross! Miranda giggled and squirmed at how wrong it was. Terry gave a thumbs up. Putting your body parts into that contraption was recommended, apparently. All right. Terry cleaned herself off before making a new announcement. This isn't a birthday celebration, so you know what that means. It's not weird to have slow dancing as the main event.
Huh?
Pardon me, dancing? This party of 5 is going to have slow dancing? Baxter questioned what he was hearing, not in a fun, this is too good to be true way, but in a tone that was almost accusatory, like you'd gotten him in a trap after all. I'm beginning to get the impression that this impromptu event is less for an entire group and more for me specifically. Once again, the group became divided between the 4 of you together and the one outsider, and as always, it was self-imposed. Baxter's arms folded as his gaze wandered over to your faces around him. He was searching for a reason. You wanted to know Baxter's motivation for his own behavior. Well, yeah, it mostly is. That was the plan. But why? You didn't have to. He insisted immediately, defensively. The chilly reception didn't hamper Terry whatsoever. Perhaps she took him for being shy in the spotlight. She wandered over and hit the music, settling into a lovely tune with a gentle pace. A nice enough song could smooth out any of the bumps. Baxter remained defiant, waiting motionlessly for a response to what he said. He couldn't and wouldn't accept the situation. Okay, Baxter. You always talk about how you don't want to ruin it for anyone else. This right here would be ruining it. I really want to like him sometimes, but he does stuff like this and it makes me kind of like annoyed, I suppose, to put it mildly. So, we got too much reading and not enough yapping. Have y'all ever watched Invincible? Yes, I have. I've only watched the first season, though. His mere existence is ruining it. Again, he has moments where he's nice. Like, he has moments where I can start to see it and go like, okay, I think I get it now. I think I get why people like Baxter. And then he does stuff like this, and I'm just like, okay, man. To be fair, I left a lot of, Harrys and multiple people can get the same time capsule. It's true. That is true. Have I watched Title Card? Yep. Invincible. I love that show. It was fun. I need to watch the 2nd and 3rd seasons. I keep seeing clips of it. Under that kind of pressure, Miranda glanced at the floor and Cove sheepishly turned from Baxter to look for your guidance. I see. That was enough of a hint for it all to be clear. You were the planner for this party. Of course, that's how it happened, was what you read in his expression. Baxter no longer traded stares among the crowd. He didn't see anyone else in the room except for you.
Oh boy. I don't know how to handle this one. None of these choices are what I would answer, to be honest. Third season is by far the best. I just love everything, to the fights, to the... Okay. I'm very curious about it. I've heard very good things about the third season. I didn't actually hear anything about the second season when it was out, funny enough. A lot of people are also talking about solo leveling. I've been curious about that. I haven't actually watched it myself, but a lot of people are saying it's apparently really good. I'm curious. Alright, 4 is what I saw, so we're choosing 4.
He took in a breath through his nose and curled his ringed fingers into a fist. Sorry to interrupt your moment, but I must ask you for this dance. Terry struck her hand into his face, making herself entirely unignorable. Subtlety wasn't going to work in this case. Baxter gave a delicate smile.
Of course. Thank you.
He accepted the offer and the two walked onto the lit-up floor together. Baxter led Terry into some easy steps. No one else even considered joining, so the space belonged to Terry and Baxter. It was nice, watching them tepidly move to the music. He was able to forget his concerns for the moment. Whenever they completed a turn, Baxter would briefly make eye contact with you from across the room. You flashed an encouraging grin. More and more, Baxter swept around the room like he was like the pro he was, relishing the opportunity to strut his stuff. Terry did a great job of keeping up, though she mainly avoided tripping rather than matching Baxter's footwork. Eventually, they called a break. Baxter headed straight to you, so Terry made a beeline towards Miranda and Cove. She offered to dance with either Randy or Cove. Both of them refused with varying degrees of nervousness. Terry could only laugh. She knew it was coming. Out of the normal group, you might have been bold enough to do it with her, but you already had a partner. For the most part, it was just him and you.
Hello, Rain.
Hi.
Well...
So...
He murmured pleasantries, a hair's breadth away from your face.
Was the birthday party a success?
Everyone had a great time, especially Miranda.
Hold on. I get no streaming service? Oh, you're talking about the, you're talking about watching Invincible? Or like other things from streaming services? I see. Yeah, Invincible's good from what I remember. Read the solo leveling manhwa. If you can, better than the anime. But if you can't, anime is really good. I'm curious about it. I am very, very curious about it. Second season is good too, but I've been loving 3 so far. Haven't finished it yet. I'm gonna have to binge it tonight, I suppose. I have a few things to work on, so while I'm working on that stuff, I guess I can have it on in the background. That's usually what I do to watch shows anymore. I have to watch it in the background. I live! Yes, you do! Welcome in, Cordy Lumine!
Baxter's lips quirked. It must have been a relief to know for certain that nothing fell apart once he made his retreat.
Okay. Let's see, what should we say to him? No, you don't get back to the grave. Oh, chat is harsh today. Can you add an Oliver on top of the Oliver on your head? Make more of a tower, I see. I sure can. Let's make a copy. Yoink. I'll make him a little smaller so he's not blocking out biblically accurate Oliver. This is my death wish. Don't die again! You're already here, you might as well join. It's like, you know, come on. Alright, what are we choosing? Thank you for everything. I went by in a flash. Sorry I couldn't be there. Hope you get some well-deserved sleep after this. Let's see. He can't keep getting away with it. Lol. Okay, so you got your Oliver. I think I got everything on chat. All the requests done. But Tarnish told me to die again. No, you don't have to. Tarnish isn't the one in control here. I am. You can stay alive. You have to live. Yeah, back to the grave. Stop it, Tarnished! Sabotaging me. And no biting. Look at all the beautiful Olivers here. That'll fill you full of life so you don't have to go back to the grave again. No, you aren't, Angie. What do you mean I'm not? This is my stream. Ah, well, you killed her again. Are you happy now, Tarnished? Anyway, go to sleep. Baxter, go to sleep.
Sorry for keeping you up even longer.
Don't be. This is more than worth the trouble.
His eyes closed and placed one foot back, only for a second. He thought better of that and brought it back in line with his other leg.
I am not lying when I say this is one of the grandest occasions I've attended.
Confessed by a man standing in the final remnants of a birthday party. Thrown together in 2 days. That scene had to be a far cry from the formal events you were certain he attended throughout his life before coming to Sunset Bird. Yet you didn't doubt the earnestness of his words for a second.
I apologize if I did not give that impression initially. I hate to be a bother, and you went to so much trouble, it doesn't matter now. The effort is sincerely appreciated.
In a way, Terry had been right. Even Baxter Ward could be bashful in certain regards. That was okay. You were just glad he enjoyed himself in the end.
Screams in your ear as a zombie? Ghost thingy majig? Rah! Oh, we're trying to send her back to the afterlife again? Are we performing an exorcism on this stream or something? What's happening here? Can you paste in my Oliver mailed to you? Yes, 1 second. Let me see if it came in. Okay, that's not how you spell that. Business inquiry. Love it, love it. Okay, we have our next custom Oliver drawn in onto the screen. Let's go. All right, just gotta press a few buttons. Where did it go? Where did it go? Why didn't it? What just happened? The Oliver went missing somehow. Okay, we're gonna try that again. We'll just try that one more time. For whatever reason, that didn't work. Okay, no, it's showing up there. There we go, there we go. Found it, found it. Alright, now it should be here. Here we are, our next custom Oliver, Toaster Oliver. And PNG format as well. We did it, boys. We did it. Enjoy all of our beautiful custom Olivers on the screen. We have biblically accurate Oliver over in the corner. We have Clown Oliver over at the bottom of the screen. And now we have Toastiver up here in our right hand side. Can you plug it? Can you plug him into you? Yes, I can. Hold on. It's plugged into my belly button. There we go. There we go. There he is! Angie powered Oliver. Angie powered Oliver. Let's go! Anyways, we will just be grateful for this time together because we're not kissing him.
The day wouldn't have been complete without it. You were sleepy and relieved and could finally just be happy with your charming suitor.
Thank you for inviting me to your party, Rain.
His eyes were still dancing even if his feet had stopped, but his words carried the weight of finality with them. There was a joy he found in the fleetingness of it all. Just like this might be your last big party with Terry, Miranda, and Cove, it could very well be the first and final time for Baxter, too.
He'd accepted that as a certainty. And can you pull him down on his tail to actually make toast? Nice! That's how it works! Sweet! I can respect you if you live for this. That's what we need. Living for Oliver. I love how you guys did normal wine in mine. No, it doesn't suck. Biblically accurate Oliver is great. What are you talking about? Like I said, there are no bad Olivers on this screen. Love the Oliver you made because it is Oliver, and Oliver loves you, so you should love him back. Okay? Love your Oliver.
Baxter was always so ready to leave, with parties and the town as a whole. He treated everything that came his way as temporary, to merely be embraced while he could and then to freely release. Even though you knew that, even if he'd never done anything differently, you hoped he would keep having a reason to return as long as you reached out to him.
Okay, that chapter is over, but we have one more thing left to see. Like all good things, Baxter's route has to come to an end. And we will end it by pressing and then summer ended over on the corner of the screen that you guys can't see, but it's in the bottom corner. So there's a certain something that I've known has been going to come up for a while in this route, and this is what I think has made Baxter's route the most controversial thing to me over everything else in Baxter's route. So you guys ready for it? Can we get the custom Olivers as a superior tower? We could. Do you guys want me to stack the custom Olivers? Is everyone okay with their Olivers being stacked? Holy Olivers. Yes? Alright, we have a few yeses. Let them have their tower? Okay, alright. I can let them have their tower. I'm not closing stream just yet. We have probably another hour before I close it. Oh, let's see. We have a good base foundation over here. I'll do this, actually. All right. So we'll do this here, and then this one right here. So we have a nice stacked Oliver tower on top of me. So my head is just peeking out. Angie, sorry I missed 28 minutes of the stream. No, you're fine. I know you guys have some other obligations you have to do. It's fine if you have to poke out every now and then. I want you to stack all Olivers, all of them, every single one. Like a Jenga tower. Hold on. And we'll just move. Whoop. If I can click on it, we'll move him over here. This one here. If I can click on this one here. This one over here. And then this one that I'm having trouble clicking on. This one will go right up here. Just like this. Our nice little Oliver tower right next to me. Behold, everyone, the glorious tower of Oliver. We made just enough Olivers to make the full tower. All right, let's end this, shall we? This is probably what I think is the most controversial part of Baxter's route. And then summer ended. How this is gonna work, by the way, because I've already read some of this before in Cove's and Derek's route, I'm going to skip over the parts that have already been read, and everything new I will not skip. But yeah, this is just, you know, because we've kind of read this before, but the Baxter parts will be new. That's just how this one's gonna work. So with that being said, let's go into and then summer ended. I've known that this is gonna happen for a while, so it's a little, because I know what's gonna happen, but let's, hold on, real fast I'm gonna save just in case I didn't do this right. All right, let's go. I can't believe I spent an hour drawing Toaster Oliver, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. I love Toaster Oliver. I'm powering this tower. It's like a Christmas tree. Am I still able to make a lever? Yeah, you can make a lever if you want. Hold Oliver like a hamburger. Oh, man. Space, draw me holding Oliver with like a hamburger. All right, let's end the summer. All right, again, I'm going to skip over the parts that have already been read. If you would like to actually see those parts, they are available in earlier parts because we have done this before. We're just going to read the new parts with Baxter. So, oh, yeah, I guess I can ask you guys, though. Do you want to go to a Chinese restaurant or a tropical restaurant? I'll let you guys decide that. I mean, we're going to be skipping over all of it anyway, but Chinese restaurant? Okay, we're getting Chinese food. That sounds good. That sounds great, actually. Okay, this is for the college stuff. Again, we're going to skip this because we're mostly just interested in the Baxter stuff right now. So, it doesn't matter as much. We'll be happy because we got accepted into our university of choice. Yeah, I know some people aren't the happiest whenever I, like, skip stuff in the visual novel, but we've read this before. It's a lot of stuff we've read. And so if you want to actually, like, read any of this, it's over in previous streams. I could link those streams in the description later on. Alright, we'll make an announcement at dinner, skip over all of this. This is telling our future plans of what we're gonna do when we're, like, full adults. What I miss, why am I stockpiling, what am I stockpiling cookies for? Chat says that you should draw me holding Oliver like a hamburger. That's what. You want cookies? I can make you cookies. I'll make you tons of cookies. Okay, let's see. Bittersweet, because we're leaving. You know, graduation song as we go on, we remember. Focus on the sweet side. We'll be positive about this. You're gonna do great things, Cove. This isn't your route, so we don't care about you. Yeah, we'll be worried. Anxiety, we can be anxious. Should we cry? Let's cry. Let's cry in front of Cove. He cries all the time. Let's cry in front of him. Alright, I actually haven't pressed this before, so this actually counts as not doing this. You blinked as you felt something fall down your cheek. Cove bit his lip.
I'm so sorry.
Oh. I don't want to make you feel bad by bringing this up. Just, I don't know what I wanted. But I felt I had to say something about this. If not now, then when? This is him saying that he's worried that he's not going to see you anymore after this and stuff. Out of the corner of your eye, you noticed a nearby table of people were staring. Cove's outburst had attracted attention. The eyes on you just made things worse. You felt overwhelmed, smothered by everything going on. You couldn't handle this. I need some air. Alone. Cove seemed pained, but he didn't protest when you brushed past him and left the restaurant. There was nowhere else to go but out. You stepped out onto the sidewalk. A couple of cars drove by on the main street, and the breeze hit your face. You took a few deep breaths now that the conversation was no longer suffocating you. You weren't quite sure what to do next. Gaining space had been the only plan. You patted your sides on reflex and pulled out a spare key from your mom's car. Walking fast, you went down the sidewalk to the part of the street where your parents had parked. Take the car! How many cookies per commission, Space? What's your price? You remember going past a particular building on the way into the restaurant and managed to backtrack your way to a car without incident. You unlocked the car with a shaky push of the button. The headlights flashed. You pulled open one of the back doors and tucked yourself inside. You shut the door and the car beeped when you locked it again. While pulling the key away, you switched it out for your phone. There were concerned messages from your family. Were you okay? Was something happening? Another text came in from your sister at that moment. You didn't respond to any of it and held down the power button. You looked back at your phone and stared at the black blank screen. You could see part of your face reflecting back at you. Then you dropped your phone on your seat. I don't want to cry that much. I didn't want to make this into a super drama or anything. Not yet, anyway. We're about to get there. Raisin cookies are acceptable payment as long as they're oatmeal. You want raisin cookies? I didn't know you wanted raisin cookies. I thought you'd want chocolate chip. And the answer is 567 cookies. Get to work, chat! Get to work!
Ugh. You couldn't help but feel frustrated. This was not how you wanted tonight to go. This was supposed to be a fun dinner, celebratory even. But maybe that was part of the problem. You didn't know if the future was actually something to celebrate. Then you tried to... well... relax. You took a few deep breaths and tried to calm yourself. It was hard to get around your feelings of dread. A few minutes passed by, you breathed in the quiet. The car started to get warm, but you didn't feel like turning it on to get the AC going and roll down the windows. Let's see. We'll text our family so they're not worried. This isn't about Cove. This isn't about Cove anymore. What's your address I can mount to? Nice try, feds. Smart space. Smart. I don't particularly want them to know, but I prefer others, but raisin cookies are acceptable currency. I see. How much would it be for chocolate chip cookies? So it's 567 raisin cookies. What's the exchange rate if they're chocolate chip cookies? You picked up your phone from the cushion and pushed the power button. It took a minute to boot up. There were plenty of additional messages. You sent out some quick messages so they knew you were all right. That was that. After a few minutes, you heard a tapping sound. You lifted your head up and your eyes were met with your big sister's. Liz stared right back at you and raised an eyebrow. You hadn't expected her. She smashed her forehead to the window, mouthing something, and pointed down into the car she wanted in. This wasn't exactly what you had in mind when you told them where you were. But whether or not you wanted her in was made a moot point when she then jingled a set of keys on the other side of the glass. Liz wasn't asking. She was informing. You slumped lower in the back seats. Liz walked around the car to the driver's side. Of course she thought to bring those. Slowly, deliberately, Liz took the spot at the head of the car and shut herself inside with you. She put both hands on the steering wheel. You could see part of her expression in the rearview mirror. She was thinking. Eventually, she twisted around so you could actually face you. She smiled thinly and leaned forward. What's going on? She didn't leave you time to answer. Her smile turned teasing. Did Cove reject your proposal to truly unite our families? This isn't Cove's route! We can't do that here, Liz! 562. No leeway there. Sad. How do you do, fellow kids energy? I'm making a lever. Nice! Can't wait to see it. You're gonna try it too. Make burrito lever. Let's see. We don't have a crush on Cove, right? We'll just shake our head. Only your sister would tease you with something so ridiculous after you just ran off during dinner. Liz chuckled, utterly unrecipitant. She leaned her seat back and rearranged herself so she could see you without bending her neck too much. Since we know that's not it, are you going to tell me what it is, or should I keep guessing? She said those words as if they were a treat. And you can't say it's nothing either. We wouldn't be here we wouldn't be here in a hot car if you were fine. You drummed your fingers on the cushion below you. From the determination on your sister's face, you knew there was no getting out of this. Words often didn't come naturally to you. This was far out of your comfort zone. Fragments of phrases were scrapped before you just made yourself go for it. Well, it's not really Cove, it's everything. Liz watched you encouragingly, and you continued. Everyone is leaving. Everything is different. And my life, at least what my life is now, is ending. I don't know if what's next will be okay. It's hard. Liz hummed and gave a nod. She smiled with understanding. Well, that was my second guess. You snorted at her reaction to your distress. Hey, it makes sense. I felt like that too a couple years ago. It hasn't been that long since I was in your shoes. She absentmindedly brushed some hair out of her face with a thoughtful expression. Sometimes I still feel like that. It's not like I've forgotten what it was like living at home with you and our moms, spending days with high school friends. I miss what we had then. She laughed a short, sharp bark. I know I didn't always show my appreciation, but still, it wasn't that bad. You don't have to forget this time either. But knowing you've lost the way things were doesn't mean you can't be happy again. Life can still be just as good as it is now. In fact, it can be even better.
Let's see. We'll thank her. We'll thank her. I don't want to turn this into too much of a drama. We're, trust me, going to get that in a little bit, but we will say this.
I think I needed some time. I think I needed someone. Of course! What else am I supposed to do? I don't know, but... Rain, do you wish you were 8 years old right now? Is that the ideal life for you? Worth giving up everything that came after? No. Exactly. And later on, you'll feel the same way about being 18. It's great when it happens, but being like that forever wouldn't be. Liz turned away and started to fidget with her hair. She picked at the ends, detangling a small knot. She kept her eyes on her hands. You know, you can do things on your own when you want to, but you've still got a family to fall back on. She looked up to meet your gaze again. You saw not only her seriousness, but also a rare softness. You were touched at her sincerity. And I didn't elect to make that statement on my own. You raised an eyebrow and she shrugged. The crowd thought a sibling talk would be for the best, but it's not like I'm the only one who cared about how you were doing. She tipped her head to the right, and you switched positions so that you could see what she meant. Out the window, you saw both your moms standing outside. Ma smiled at you, and Mom waved. They started to head closer to the car. Ma opened the door, and both squeezed in the back with you. You had to scoop up your phone and sit up so they could fit. You ended up with your back to the car door, Ma sandwiched in the middle, and Mom on the other side. Ma reached over to pat you on the head, and Mom tilted forward so she could see you clearly from around Ma. Is there room for one more? You searched around but didn't see anyone. You stared at them in confusion, and Liz cackled. Mom threw you a bone and gave a significant glance behind you. You twisted your head around and jumped. Lee had her face pressed to the window directly behind you. She smirked and then giggled at your shocked reaction. You were taken aback but managed to grin at her. I forgot Lee was here. I didn't even know she was at the party. It's our emotional support puppy. I forgot that she was at this family get together. Whoopsies. You scooted further down into your seat, almost sitting on Mom's lap to give Lee some space. She flung the door open wide and then attacked you with a squishy hug. You laughed when Ma hugged you from the other side. You were trapped in the warmest hug you could ever remember. Rain, you are my wonderful child, and you will always have a home no matter where what you decide to do, or where you might end up going.
Forget that, it's the hot moms. Exactly!
You became hyper-aware of the feeling in your chest. It wasn't just from being crushed in a hug either. Also, you can always stay with your cousin if you don't want to have to crash with your parents. I take offense to that. Mom joked, her eyes sparkled as she continued. What's wrong with visiting the old folks? Rain at least has to come home for the holidays. What would we do without her? Liz snorted, and you stayed caught in the hug. Lee squeezed you tighter.
I'll have to check my schedule.
I might be able to pencil you in. I never realized how cramped the back seat was. Everyone laughed. The model really was not built for 4 people. As comforting as the embrace was, you were completely crushed. See, this is why I was smart and took the front. I bet you were wondering why I did that before. Now it's crystal clear. Liz stretched her arms out, showing off all her free space. Mom scoffed. You could feel her bounce in her seat. Hardly. You're just missing all the fun. You look lonely up there. Ma chuckled and stretched through the small opening between the front and back. She made a grab for Liz, who dodged and shrieked. Ma! I didn't want you to be left out, sweetheart. Liz crossed her arms and met her with an unimpressed stare. Lee was snickering. Liz ignored her and then reached out a hand to very deliberately pat you on the knee. There, geez. Mom let out a glowing smile and patted Liz's arm back. Now the hug truly was a whole family affair. There. Finally, you felt better, and you let them know you were ready to go back to the restaurant. You were released from the hug sandwich, and everyone piled out of the car. Back towards the restaurant, the two Holdens stood together. Cove looked particularly awkward as he fiddled with something in his hands. Lee whispered into your ear. Cove was out there the whole time. I think he just didn't want to interrupt us. Now his dad came too.
Are we still gonna have a table inside? I need to know. I would like food. I'm actually really hungry right now. Anyone have any spare Chinese food? Do we get to-go boxes? What's up? What's the situation? Is it okay if I make 2 versions of my lever? Of course! More levers to go around.
Aren't they polite? Such gentlemen. True, but they better not have lost our table. Ma reached around to poke her on the side. Liz jumped even though you knew Ma's poke were pretty mild. Don't say that. Whether we have the table or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that we're all together, safe and happy. Here, here, Lonnie. Mom cheered her on and waved her fist with enthusiasm. Liz sighed and rolled her eyes. A girl still gotta eat. Lee skipped up and hooked her arm around you. Your cousin offered you a beaming smile.
All right.
You're not gonna know until we get there, so let's get going. Okay. Your full group headed back into the restaurant. Luckily, your table was still reserved for you. You weren't exactly sure what Cove's dad had told the staff, but whatever his explanation had been, everything had worked out. You sat back down and were able to pick up the meal from where you'd left off, now with much lighter spirits.
All right, we're skipping once again. Hold on, what did I miss? What did I miss? All right, chat joking around with each other. Good, love to see it. You plead guilty for, what about that? What are you guys doing there? Maybe I don't want to get involved with this. This looks incriminating. Maybe I'll just step out. That's a severe offense, so you get punished 10 times Baxter route playthrough? Oh god. Have fun, Tarnished. Good luck. That's at least 9 more times from us. You have to choose different options too. Tell us like the different stuff that happens. Alright. You know what? We're just gonna sleep. This is not Cove's route, so we're not gonna do stuff with Cove.
Hey,
Alright, we're gonna hug her back because Cove's mom's hot.
Okay.
We're going to talk to Derek because Derek is hot. I have priorities, okay? Yeah, I have. It's been good. Let's see. We're not gonna flirt with him because, unfortunately, even though he's very hot, and I appreciate him, we are not on his route. So, we'll do this one. Apparently, we've chosen that before. We'll say he thought his bow tie was cute. Yeah, he had a cute bow tie. Derek was cute as a kid. Derek was super cute as a kid. Okay. Alright, I think this is Baxter, so we're gonna message Baxter to come down to the beach because this is, as we mentioned, Baxter's route. Everyone else was going to be there. You didn't want him to be left out. You sent him a text and hope he'd show. After that, you made sure to mention what you'd done. No one seemed to mind. All right, we're gonna be here until, yeah, Baxter's here. So, since this is Baxter's route, we are going to, like, include him in everything.
Morning swiftly gave way to afternoon, and a very recognizable face came walking down to the shore. It was Baxter. He came. He pleasantly approached it with a wave.
Hello there. I appreciate the invite to the party.
Of course you're welcome with us. We brought plenty of towels and food and sunscreen.
Yeah, you're one of the neighbors. Kick back and relax with us.
Thank you for voicing that, Baxter.
Baxter gaze moved over to you and Cove. He smiled.
Rain, Cove, good to see you.
Hi. You waved from where you were leisurely sat, and Cove nodded. I'm glad you decided to come.
So am I.
It was then that Baxter noticed the faces he didn't immediately recognize from around the neighborhood. He turned up his charm even more for the introductions.
Excuse me, I'm Baxter Ward. I'm sorry we haven't met before.
Well, you're not totally from around this area. Just visiting.
We're not totally, I don't know how to use Kyra's voice anymore. It's been so long. What voice did I give you, Kyra?
Well, we're not totally from around this area. Just visiting. I'm Cove's mom. A few giggles escaped Lee as she watched Baxter carefully. When his attention turned to her now, she held out a hand. Hi, I'm Lee, Rain and Liz's cousin. Baxter shook it and then took a step back. Lee's smile grew.
I'll remember that. It's very nice to meet you both.
After that, Baxter spent some time getting better acquainted with everyone, and Terry and Miranda arrived excitedly. The conversation shifted to what you would all do next.
Alright, skipping again, except reading Baxter's part in this. What do you mean? What do you mean we haven't finished yet? Nope, we still have an epilogue after this, so we're gonna be here for a long time. Baxter's route is not over yet. Your hell will not end.
Impromptu crafting is my kind of party. I'd like to join too, please.
Alright, are we playing volleyball again, or are we making jewelry again? Also, welcome in, Ruin. It's been a while. I just noticed it was you that said that. Welcome in, Ruin. Alright, playing volleyball again. We're once again playing volleyball with Ma. We're playing with Ma. Of course we're playing with Ma. Of course we're not holding back. Alright. We will say it's all thanks to you two because we're telling our Ma's how much we love them and appreciate them. We're skipping all of this. Have a safe trip. Bye!
Come on.
We're saying goodbye to Baxter.
There was a sigh of relief from what felt like the group as a whole when they arrived back to the neighborhood. Baxter carefully placed what he had been carrying on the ground. Thank you so much for helping with that.
No, thank you for allowing me to join today. You all shared with me, helping to carry it back as the least I can do.
Ma nodded and the others started collecting their things from the pile. Baxter, meanwhile, stepped over to you and Cove.
It was a pleasure.
His head tilted towards you, and he smiled warmly.
Will I see you again? Tomorrow is my last day.
Yeah, definitely. I'll visit you.
Thank you, Rain, and I don't expect to do this, you to do the same, Cove.
Oh, alright, I won't.
Baxter turned to shake. Nope, we can skip this. Bye. See you soon, Baxter.
And we're skipping all of this. We'll accept because Cove's mom's hot.
Very much.
Let's see. I'm really glad that you're my neighbor, Cove's dad, because he's also hot. Why are Cove's parents so hot? Why are Cove's parents so hot? Friendship. Mommy route win. It's what we've been asking for since the beginning. Also, welcome back. Oh. Let's see. Did you know that Angie has stomped Caesari like Mario does? Yep, that was a thing. You missed the story time. You missed the story time where I talked about how I attacked Space and then we became friends afterwards. no such crime, and also my court summons got lost in the mail. What did I miss? That was all for getting the moment you made me go through Baxter's DLC 10 times over. Which part was your favorite, Tarnished? You gotta tell us. Alright. We'll hug Cove. We'll hug Cove. Alright. Hope you have good dreams too, Lee. Yeah, family forever. Go through all of this. Love you too, sister. I'll clean up everything. I always have to clean up everything first. You're the best parents, and I love you guys so much. Aw. Ma's eyes sparkled from your compliment. Mom pulled you into another hug. Good night, kiddo. Sleep tight. Alright, we meet Cove. Because of course we do. Of course we do. But seriously, what is happening on the right side of the screen? Oliver Tower! It's our Tower of Oliver, the Great Tower of Oliver. Taliver! Exactly! We love when friendships originate from sheer, unadulterated violence. Yeah! They're the best kind of friendships. I wanted to be your friend. We'll let him continue. This is our goodbye to Cove after all. We've already done this before, which is why we're skipping it now. We're just trying to get to Baxter's part. Never saw it ending up like this. I don't think anyone did. Alright, still skipping. It's great everything worked out. Let's see. We'll text our moms, make sure they don't worry. We'll sit down. We stayed there the entire night, so we got no sleep. Oh, it doesn't really have to end. We'll be comfortable. This isn't Cove's route. We can't be romantic with Cove. It's not Cove's route. We can't be romantic with Cove. Good night, Cove. Good night, Rain. Alright, skip over it. We have our Cove CG. It's the same day, Cove. We literally stayed up the entire night. It'll mark a new start. You're amazing, Cove. I can't wait to be back on your route. He didn't know where that came from, but your comment quirked a wry smile from Cove. His voice was lithed with mirth. You're one of a kind, huh? Alright. We'll pass this because, you know, it's not... We're not... Anyway, here we are, guys. The end of Baxter's route. We've made it. We've now made it. I was skipping to this moment here for a very specific reason. This is the official end of Baxter's route. Before we get to the epilogue, I'm going to tell you guys there's an epilogue. So this is not the end of Baxter's route. It's the end of the main route. The epilogues in this game are long, so it will easily be a two-part thing. So there's probably at least going to be 2 more parts to Baxter's route. However, I have heard from a few other people that Baxter is a much different person in his epilogue than in here. So if you did not enjoy Baxter's main route, there's a possibility you will enjoy the epilogue. We'll see. I don't know what it's like. I have not read it myself, so we'll find out. But right now, this is the official end of Baxter's main route. So let's see this off. The clatter of a suitcase hitting tile brought you back into reality. You'd been zoned out in thought for some amount of time. How long was impossible to guess. But you were in Baxter's room. It was almost exactly 24 hours since the last time you'd been together, during the big goodbye get-together the previous day. The scene in front of you then was familiar in a way. You were sitting on his bed and watching as he packed. But there was none of the franticness or excitement of a fast-approaching trip to the mountains. In this moment, every motion Baxter made was slow and laborious. This was the end of his time in Sunset Bird. When the job was done, it would be finished. When you'd first arrived at his place, Baxter and you reminisced over a summer well spent,
won over all too soon. The task of putting his things into a bag was drawn out enough for all possible conversation to have been spent and a quiet to creep in. That's how you'd gotten sucked into your own head, a private reflection on the person in front of you. Baxter Ward had been the harbinger of change in the tiny town, an inescapable sign that the life you'd known for nearly your entire childhood was also coming to an end.
That's ominous. That's really ominous. That's like, what are you saying exactly? Baxter is enjoyablant. I see. It's baxed over for him. Can we skip the epilogue and do like 65 years later? Nope, unfortunately not.
But he had become your normal over the summer, and now he was going to change it all again by going away. A part of you wanted to jump out of reality again. In your mind, Baxter was ever present, but in this room, Baxter had just finished the last task before he left for good. You stared at the neatly gathered bags around Baxter's fancy black shoes. When did that happen? Your gaze drifted to his face, unsure. Baxter was watching you too, and smiling sweetly.
Thank you for visiting me once more. Rain, I am fully settled now, and it is getting late. I believe the time has come for you to return home.
More accurately, but harder for Baxter to admit, it was time for him to return home. But he was simply tapped a suitcase with his foot and kicked the wheel forward down the road.
Would you mind if I saw you out?
You climbed off his bed. That'd be nice.
Very well.
Very good.
The bags were left as they were for the time being as Baxter escorted you to the front door and onto the street. You both stood there in the very place where you first reunited.
Fish do secretly enjoy Baxter. You want a truthful answer to that or a funny answer to that? Funny answer? No. Never. True answer, do I actually enjoy Baxter, is kind of complicated. The real answer, not really, but it's more complicated than that. I love visual novels, I love reading visual novels, and I love my dating sims. They're very good. And the idea of Baxter is actually something I enjoy. There are things that I really, really like about Baxter. However, the route as a whole, I think, is a failure for me. That's nothing to the writers, by the way. I don't enjoy how Baxter is written. There are a lot of things that I don't really care for. There are things I really like that Baxter does, but it is overshadowed to me by things I don't like about Baxter. So, the answer I feel is complicated. I don't enjoy things, but I also do enjoy things. I've heard he gets better in the epilogue, so I'm really hoping that's the case. I really want to see what everyone else sees, because Baxter is actually very highly rated for a lot of people. A lot of people really like Baxter in the Our Life community, and I'm really, really trying to see what they see, and I really want to see it. So I'm hoping I do see it in the epilogue. So you'd like Baxter if he was done right? Yes. There are things about Baxter that I really like. Theoretically, I like the idea of this being a summer fling. I like certain aspects of Baxter, and I've seen people explain aspects of Baxter that I don't like, and they explain it to me of how they do like it, and I get it in a way. But I just, to me, it doesn't feel like it was done in a way that I enjoy, I guess. And that's hard for me. I think Baxter is supposed to be that cringy kid that regrets his actions and can't sleep at night thinking about the cringy moments. That is true. That is what he's supposed to be. And that's why a lot of people say he's better in the epilogue. Like, he gets better. Because, apparently he does grow a lot in the epilogue. He grows more into himself. He knows what he wants to be more. And so I'm looking forward to that. I want to see how it is. Reserve all judgments, I guess, until then. I do have my problems with this route. I don't think it is the worst thing. I have read by far so much worse when it comes to visual novels or dating sims as a whole. Oh, trust me, I've read worse. But Baxter's route, I'm gonna say, so far, is just not my thing. It's not what I prefer in dating sims. I don't like the fling aspect of it, and there's things, again, that I think I could have enjoyed with Baxter's route that I just don't think appealed to me, I guess. Now that I think about it, I don't remember anything about Baxter and whatever happened in game, just chatting conversations we all had. I guess I hate him because we all do. Maybe so, maybe so. I'm like hyper-focused on every story I read, so I have been like trying to pay close attention to his personality and stuff. Again, there's things I like, things I dislike. So why do we play the route in the epilogue? Was the only good part? I didn't know if it would be the only good part. I've never read Baxter's story before. I was reading it as a whole like it was intended to be read. So I could judge it for myself. So I could see for myself. Like I said, I love visual novels and I love reading these dating sims. So I wanted to see for myself if it was any good. And as I said, there are legitimate fans to Baxter's route. A lot of people have explained to me what they do like about it and why they enjoy it. I wanted to see for myself. See if it was something I could enjoy. And like I said, there's parts. There's parts I enjoy, parts I didn't. The route as a whole, I'm gonna say a solid not for me, probably. I'll see how he is in the epilogue. Maybe maybe there's writing decisions that will change my mind. But we'll see. We'll see. That was a disorganized my thoughts over Baxter's route. Maybe I'll organize them more later when I do my final Our Life video. I do plan, as I've mentioned before, though, briefly, I actually plan on making a video essay on Our Life. So I am going to be collecting all of the footage here and turning it into kind of a video essay. Because there's a lot of thoughts I have, and I would love to actually, like, organize them. And this is, like, the longest running series on my channel, so. I'm hungry. Eat! Eat, Tarnished! Eat something! Alright, I'm gonna keep going.
Baxter put his most agreeable smile to work. It was there, though called in on what should have been a day off.
I suppose this is the most fitting place to say goodbye. It is unlikely we'll see one another again before I'm gone.
That was it. No getting around things. This was goodbye. Hesitantly, he held up his arms for a farewell embrace.
Let's see. Alright. I know you guys. I know most of you don't like Baxter. I'm gonna go in for the friendly one, though. We started this romantically. I'm gonna end this sort of romantically. Because we're gonna lead into the epilogue, so I have to, in a way. So we're gonna hug him back. We're gonna tightly squeeze him.
He let out a demure puff while you nearly cracked his back with your powerful compression.
Yeah. That's what being an athlete does. Take that, Baxter! Turning hugging into a competition.
His arms crossed over each other and behind you, and both of his hands came to rest on your shoulders. Baxter had tied himself to you with a bow. You enjoyed every second of it. Then, when you finally untangled yourself, you put just enough distance between you so you could see each other's faces. Baxter spoke again with new tenderness to his tone.
It was so wonderful meeting you. This has been the best summer, best any particular season I've had in years. I'll never forget a minute of it. And I sincerely hope you will find someone who will make you happy and fulfilled. You're suited only for the best. Goodbye, Rain.
Yep, he's dumping us. I knew this would happen because I've seen everyone talk about it on Baxter's route. Baxter breaks up with us. I knew it was going to happen. He did say it was going to be a fling. But it's still controversial no matter what you do. Baxter breaks up with you. Even if you're the most romantic, put him first all the way through, Baxter's gonna break up with you. I knew this was the thing that was gonna happen. But here we go. There's no hooray option. Hey. Stop celebrating in chat. This is sad. Stop celebrating. Hey, chat, stop. This is sad. sad. Look, I have my crying face on. We're supposed to be sad about this. 5. All right. I suppose we're just gonna be understanding about this. Yeah, sure. All right. Chat is celebrating. We're just gonna... Okay, right. Okay, chat. Okay, let's see. We'll say... You know what? I want to say this because I want to see what he says.
We don't have to date long distance. I just want to keep in touch. The way Baxter flinched at those words was disconcerting. You didn't understand what was happening anymore. We'll talk to each other after this, right?
I'm leaving.
That was the explanation. 2 words. He stated the obvious, almost placatingly. A gentle reminder that somehow would make everything clear. Since you didn't convincingly look like you're reaching a complete understanding of the universe, he continued, disappointed.
Rain, I'll be on the other side of the country. I won't be here to give you rides or make cupcakes together or take you out for drinks. We can't sightsee or go on trips. It should go without saying.
But that doesn't mean we never have to speak again. We can text and have calls and a bunch of things. Baxter folded his arms then. Caution was quickly giving way to exasperation.
I see you don't understand me. Unfortunately, I am having trouble following myself. Why would we? We've known each other's existence for approximately 3 months, and your only familiarity with me is what I've chosen to share, which is not much. You aren't a bad person if you don't go immensely out of your way to continue keeping tabs on a near stranger. It's fine to leave me be.
I'm not keeping tabs. It's a normal way to interact with someone you know. Miranda has an older brother, Jude. He's making a long-distance situation work. The 2 of them haven't lived near each other for multiple months, ever, even though they've known each other for years.
Oh, it is truly delightful to hear that, and I wish the best for Miranda's brother and his partner. Of course, my rather reasonable prediction is that it will not last. Most relationships don't.
Wow! That's something to say. You don't know their relationship, Baxter.
As for me, in terms of us, unfortunately, I've quite run out of anything to say.
He'd shot you down entirely, not giving in a single centimeter towards compromise. It left you stunned. What happened? Baxter could be hard on himself, but never others. Since when had he been someone so cynical?
Alright, we can be mad about this. The reaction spam is lagging my phone. Then stop celebrating! Chat? I hate to remind you, but there is an epilogue. We're not done with Baxter. You can keep celebrating all you want, but this isn't the end. Chat's celebrating a breakup. Alright, guys. Good riddance. Space! Space, I expected better from you! Okay, alright. Let's be mad. I want to blow up in his face. Let's be mad. I was dating you! Isn't that a sign that maybe I was more invested in our connection than the length of a single season?
I apologize. It is obvious now that it was a poor choice on my end.
Baxter raked his fingers through his hair. The tidy white and black stripes were all messed up.
I would have preferred to have had been an enjoyable time having my company while I happened to be here. That was the intention. It seems I've ruined that on a whole. I accept the blame for that. If I had behaved better, this wouldn't have come to a close at such an abhorrent note. However, I am not an irreplaceable part of your life. I was a tourist, a novelty, and now I'm not even that, so don't bother with this.
Every word was poisonously mocking. No more effort could be spared to put it politely. You heard his opinion on himself laid bare. It was terrible. Can we slap him now? I wonder. I doubt it. Our life is not like that, but... He turned his back to you. Beginning the process of separation promptly, Baxter only spoke over his shoulder. It is wild to make the CG the breakup scene. That is a choice. The CG is the breakup? You had it be the breakup scene? Oh, that is wild. Oh, I feel bad for the people that actually are, like, we're really into Baxter's route. This has to be really emotional for them. We can punch Jeremy for being a little brat above Cove's eyebrows, but God forbid we slap Baxter even a little. I mean, actually, I want to make this into a full drama here. I want to make this into a soap opera right now. Alright. He turned his back on you. Beginning the process of separation promptly, Baxter only spoke over his shoulder.
I genuinely am sorry, Rain. If I could take back these days,
I would. Oh, God! I'd take them all back, really? That's what we're saying?
I will never cause this kind of trouble for you again.
at the very least, I can promise I will never cause this kind of trouble for you again.
He was serious. This was the end of the line for his association with you. You looked into Baxter's obscured face for the last time and... Please tell me we can slap him. No, it's okay. We can smile at him for, like, the super drama. Finish the levers. Just have to get permission from my father to upload the lever pictures. Got it. So yeah, we'll glare at him. I'm gonna glare at him through tears. I'm gonna go the full soap opera here. Like, how could you do this to me? We were dating. I'm gonna go the full soap opera. I'll never see you again, Victorian emo man. Okay, that's funny. That's really funny. That's really funny. Two instantly. Give us two. Give us two. This is so dramatic, and we're choosing this. Why does bro look like Gojo? Don't compare him to Gojo. 5 is great as well. Yeah, but we have to go with 2. We have to go with 2. Fine. See you never, you Victorian Evo man. Baxter didn't say anything else. He didn't react. He only stepped forward and closed the door as he to his rented condo. He was gone. And you turned to your actual friends. They were always there for you, no matter what. That was something a person like him would probably never have. But even a man of his word, you didn't see Baxter Ward again. And that's it. That is the end of the main Baxter route. As I said earlier, I'm gonna get around the Tower of Oliver here so I can face you guys. Okay, this isn't working out. Having trouble capturing myself. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna get around the Tower of Oliver so I can face you guys and be a little bigger here. So yeah, no matter what you choose in that route, Baxter will break up with you. There is no getting around that. Which I think is that's a bold choice in a dating sim. It's not the first time I played a game exactly where they had the character break up with you, but I do think it is a bold choice to end the dating sim that way. But we're not free because we have that nice little Baxter route over there on the right. The nice little Baxter DLC that we will be selecting next time. We'll be playing that in the next Our Life stream.
as I said, we're getting all the DLC out of the way because on the last we're gonna end with Cove. It will be a nice little refresher, but I decided I wanted to end with the Cove wedding DLC because Cove is the good thing of the entirety of our life. We love Cove here on this channel. Starts playing Naruto sad song. I've heard good things about the Baxter epilogue, so I'm really hoping that it changes my mind. I'm curious. I am curious how this is gonna be, especially when we broke up like that. Is he gonna no, please tell me the Victorian emo man comic is going to come back. I need that to come back. I wonder how many people went through the whole route again to try and make him not break up. Yeah, I'm curious, but it is something that will happen no matter what. Like, I double-checked that to make sure, and yeah, no matter what you do, he will break up with you. There is no getting around it. Actually, I liked Baxter. Please take away the Baxter epilogue. It didn't change my mind, but let's pretend so it gets taken away. It'll never be taken away. We will be playing it next time. It'll probably be really long, so it'll probably be broken up into 2 parts. But yeah, that is your warning. The next 2 parts of our life are probably going to be the Baxter epilogue. I'm curious to see what it will be, especially when we broke up. I don't know how they're going to continue that story. So we'll see. We'll see. Bro, the epilogue will be him breaking off the engagement at the end. He can't commit. Can we add another Oliver to the tower? The tower's already off the screen. But we can add another Oliver. I'll add another Oliver. I'll always add more Olivers. Let's see. There, we have another Oliver. Where do we place him? I don't know if that was the duplicate Oliver or, I did add another duplicate. Nope, that was the duplicate Oliver. Sweet. More Olivers for the Oliver god. That's right. That's right. So you're saying there's at least 2 parts to this 30-part game? There'll be at least 3 more parts to this 30-part game. We have the Baxter epilogue, and after that we will have the Cove wedding DLC, and that's it. We'll be done with our life after that. So there'll be at least 3 more parts. It's a long one. It's a long one, but I'm looking forward of what comes. It'll be fun planning our wedding. Guys, chat, it'll be fun planning our wedding. You're staying with me till then, right? Right? That's what I'm counting on. Anyways. 2 whole years worth of game. It hasn't been 2 years, but it does feel pretty close, doesn't it? We started it in February though, so it hasn't been 2 years, just 1. But man, it's been a little nostalgic for me. It's been really nostalgic for me. My ears hurt? Oh no! I'm sorry. Alright. On that note, I'll say this again, I wasn't here since the beginning of the channel, but it's wild thinking it's ending. Yeah, no, it really... I'm honestly a little emotional about it. This was the first stream I ever did. I started this channel with our life. Well, I mean, not the channel, but the streaming channel. Like, streaming started with our life for me, and the fact that it's gonna be ending soon feels, a little sad. Don't wanna? No, no, no. I think you mistyped. You want to. Can I marry with someone just so I can't also attend the epilogue stream? Haha, no. Alright, guys. Alright. On that note, this is the end of this episode. We have made it all the way through Baxter's DLC minus the epilogue, which we will be getting to soon enough. We'll get there 2 weeks from now. Wait 2 weeks and we will start the epilogue. And on that note, I thank you all for coming and sharing this moment with me. Thank you for being there with me as I attempted to do the entirety of the Baxter route. That was something. As I said, I don't really think I am the right audience for the Baxter route. It's not my usual choice when it comes to my dating sims. doing a fling and breakup at the end is a very bold option for a, it's a very bold option for a dating sim. Like, the guy breaks up with you no matter what you do. It doesn't matter how in love with him you are. He'll break up with you. That's bold. That's bold. But I had fun regardless. You guys have made it very fun for me. So thank you. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next one. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. You don't have to, but I'll appreciate it if you do. I'll appreciate you anyways, though. As always, love you lots. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye, fish cakes! I don't have my tablet pin with me, so this is a longer exit. Bye, fish